find a Trump supporter to debate with an IQ over like 82. Okay, that's gonna be our bar. That's gonna be our bar. But once again, for everybody who's tuning in, I really appreciate y'all so much for joining. Go ahead and hop inside of that queue if you're an American adult that supports Donald J. Trump as president. We're only gonna be talking to Trump supporters who know how many continents there are. We're gonna be implementing some very fair rules for the stream today, trying to ensure that we're not just talking to the worst of the worst. La Campanella, right? Little Bell? Very good. That was very good. Big fan. Big fan. I fuck with it. 10 out of 10. Let's go to get that next guest loaded up in the box right now. Only up inside of the queue if you happen to be an American adult that supports Donald J. Trump as president. 10 out of 10. Gotta love it. Welcome in. Do you support Trump?
Yes, I do.
And how old are you?
18.
And what year are you born in?
2007.
2007. I don't know. How many continents are there?
There's 7.
Okay, good. And 2 sentences or less. Why do you support Trump?
I think he is just the better overall pick.
Yeah, why do you think that?
Well, I will say I'm not fully with Trump. I'm just on the right side, and he happens to be on the right.
Okay, so it's like party over country. So we shouldn't like support people just because they exist to the same political party we do. We should support politicians because we think that they're either good for the country or better than the alternative. So would you be able to tell me like either why you think he's a good president beyond the fact that he shares your political affiliation, or better than the alternative that we'd have if he lost the election and Harris won?
Well, I like that he is religious, and he also doesn't like abortions.
Sounds good. All right. Are you patient?
I am patient, yes, sir.
Cool. I'm going to put you on mute here for just 2 minutes so we could get that stream started on the other place. I'm going to hit a quick intro. It'll be rather quick. The breaking news isn't too much today. Then I'll invite you to turn that mic back on. Hello. Welcome in, you guys. This is the 400th. I keep on messing that one up. The 417th episode, there we go, of the Dean Wither Show. I appreciate you guys so much for being here. Folks, we have a lot to go over today. If you've never been here before, well, welcome in. We debate Trump supporters. We try to change their minds. Today is Monday. I will say that we usually get some crazies on the Mondays. I don't know why. If you just look back at every stream from every Monday over the course of the last year or so, like the Trump supporters that day are wild. So hopefully we don't encounter the Manic Monday crazies, and we're able to have some good productive dialogue today. But chances are that's not what's going to happen. Now, we also like to go through the breaking news. Today's breaking news is that Donald Trump posted a photo of him with an alien. Now, I think I may have clickbaited this a little bit in my title. I won't lie, because it's clearly AI generated. And I think that the takeaway here isn't that aliens exist, but rather delusional presidents with minds detached from reality exist. Because what is this fool doing posting pics of himself with AI aliens? Let's actually just take a moment here to take a look at the picture that Donald Trump posted last night on Truth Social. We're going to go to get that up on the big screen now. We see it seems to be a photo generated at what looks to be Area 51, some type of secret hidden military compound in the middle of the mountains. You can only assume it's Area 51, where Donald Trump is walking with an alien and a handful of Secret Service agents. And of course, you see the military in the background, regardless if it's this guy right here in the Army camo, or, you know, all the other military Humvees, Jeeps, and whatnot in the background of the photo. Now, why would he post this? I don't know. I mean, I don't think we really know why Donald Trump does a lot of the things he does. I think his mind is shot. I think that he's just kind of an old senile man. You know, I would expect to see this out of, you know, Mr. Grandpa in the nursing home, eating his afternoon Jell-O, shit posting on social media if he happens to have a phone about him with an alien. Okay, but this isn't just some like random grandpa at a nursing home. This is the president of the United States of America. So, wow, you know, let's see what's going to come from this. Maybe is the next announcement from the White House going to be that aliens are real? I don't know. It seems like a distraction away from some other issues that matter the most, like the E-files, the war in Iran that's destroying our nation, or the ever-failing economy. You know, maybe he needs to pay less attention to AI shitposting and more attention to the financial well-being of the average American. Oh, wait, he doesn't care about that at all. What's my source? Him. He said so. So we're going to go and hop into the debates at this moment in time, guys. We already do have the very first Trump supporter of the day loaded up in and connected to the live stream. I need to blow my nose, so I'm going to bend off screen to do that. But while I'm doing that, I am going to go and pass the mic to this Trump supporter to take it away and tell us why they are a Trump supporter. Now, they've already shared with us that they are MAGA because, you know, he's Christian and anti-abortion. Sir, if you want to flesh out that argument, you got my attention. Go for it.
Well, I do think that he is religious not only for, you know, his some of his posts. I do understand that he made a stupid post about him thinking he was Jesus Christ. Like it's just humor, what I believe. It's just him being, you know, humorous. So yeah.
No, so the right word isn't humorous. The right word is blasphemous. So it doesn't say in the Bible that blasphemy is an unforgivable sin unless you're just joking. No, it says in the Bible that blasphemy is wrong, and you shouldn't find that funny at all, right? It's literally one of the worst things that, you know, a member of God's creations could do in mocking God if you think that that God exists, right? There shouldn't be anything humorous about this to any good Christian whatsoever. But I mean, even beyond that, when I'm gonna, you know, tell you why I disagree with you, I don't think Trump is religious. I'm gonna show the fact that he depicted himself to be God. That's nothing a good Christian would do. But also the fact that he has a track record of anti-religious values, ranging from the exclusion of others, like his attempted Muslim ban in his first term, to raping women and calling for the women he raped to be thrown in jail, i.e. E. Jean Carroll, to boasting about sexual exploitation, to being best friends with Epstein, to being in the Epstein files over a million times, but also his policy, right? And Mark, Jesus says, you know, the way that you treat those with lesser than yourself is the way that you're treating the Lord your God, right? I treat poor people well, or, you know, you're giving the big middle finger to the big dog. Well, how does Donald Trump treat poor people? Well, he takes their health care away from one. 10 million low-income Americans lost access to Medicaid under the big beautiful bill. He takes our food stamps away for two. 3 million Americans lost access to food stamps under the big beautiful bill. Okay, he takes our purchasing power away for three. The average American, and everybody making less than the average American, on average, is losing purchasing power from the big beautiful bill, according to the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities. And he illegally taxes him for four. Americans paid $92 billion worth of illegal taxation through Donald Trump's unconstitutional tariffs that regressively impacted you more the less money you made. So yeah, clearly, not only is Donald Trump anti-Christian, but his administration is as well, and that becomes quite obvious through their policy. Now, maybe the last example I'll give you of anti-Christian policy from the Trump administration is the fact that they have broken Christian war theory. Christian war theory aims to achieve a path that Christian nations and Christian governments can take to go to war without being anti-Christian, right? Because killing people's wrong and war people die. And Christian war theory concludes that before you resort to war, you have to exhaust all diplomatic means at your service first. Now, Donald Trump, on the other hand, didn't just exhaust all diplomatic means, didn't just not do that, but he actually tore up the diplomatic means that could have prevented this war. Obama was able to achieve a denuclearization agreement with Iran that prevented a war by rather incentivizing them to stop their production of nuclear weapons by releasing economic sanctions on them. Donald Trump tore that agreement up, said fuck you to the diplomacy, and then started a war by bombing and killing 160 kids. So once again, anti-Christian as fuck.
Well, are you Christian?
So I'm agnostic, but I'm likely more familiar with the Christian faith than you or any other Christian who would join my live claiming to be a Trump supporter.
Where in the Bible does it say that you cannot act upon being, you know, Jesus Christ?
I think in Mark, it talks about how blasphemy is an unforgivable sin. That's either in Mark or John. I just don't think that this is like a serious question, though, right? Like hopefully this isn't a serious question. Where in the Bible does it say that you can't claim to be God? What about Exodus 25? The second commandment. There shall be no false gods held before me. So when somebody claims to be Jesus, they're claiming to be God. Clearly, they're not God. They're a false God. So, yeah, I mean, you have the explicit commandments about blasphemy in the New Testament, but then you also just have the second commandment in Exodus.
I mean, did he specifically say he was God?
Well, have you ever heard the phrase "pictures say 1,000 words"? I bet you have because they do. So when you depict yourself as God, you are explicitly claiming to be God through said depiction.
I mean, well, as he said, he could. I don't believe that he was depicting himself to be a nurse or doctor, whatever he said.
Okay,
but,
so he just followed up blasphemy with a lie. That's also a sin.
well, so is like smoking. Smoking is a sin.
I mean, I don't even know if that's true, but what's your point?
You have
Because where in the Bible does it say that? Okay.
Sorry, go ahead.
Where in the Bible does it say that anxiety pins are a sin?
Well, it's we both know that obviously it is not, and I hope you're not a hypocrite and say that stuff is
So what's his strategy here? Because I thought that we were having a debate about Trump and why he's a shitty president. But now you want to talk to me about my anxiety pin. So are you here for a debate or are you here for like childish games?
I'm here for a debate. I mean,
Okay, so then go ahead and respond to all the points that I made about how Trump is clearly not a Christian, either through his personal vices like rape or through his administration's attack on others like Muslims, starting a war outside of Christian war theory like the war in Iran, or attacking poor people that they're supposed to treat like God per Mark, such as the downstream negative outcomes for low-income Americans through the big beautiful bill and his illegal tariffs.
You don't have to do things to prove that you are Christian.
Okay, so
Like
clearly
some is Islamic people, they don't pray. Some people they don't like Buddhism, they don't pray. Like there's some people that just do not do the things. Like I'm Christian,
you don't
but I
need to
don't pray every
repent.
single night.
You don't need to
Huh?
repent to God to get into heaven.
No, you don't need to. You just have to be a decent person.
Well, first and foremost, being a decent person is doing something. So you just contradicted yourself. And then second of all, yeah, you absolutely have to repent to God and attempt to undergo the process of sanctification, becoming a more holy person across your lifespan. I mean, it says so explicitly in the Bible. Not only in the New Testament do we see that it says faith without works is dead, but also across the Old Testament, we see explicit examples of verses as well in which would make the same suggestion. This is why you as a follower of Christ are told to repent for your sins, accept Jesus as God, and try to be a good person. Right? Because that hits on, you asking God for forgiveness because, the wage of sin is death. So you must be cleansed of your sins in order to gain access to living life in heaven. You have to undergo the process of sanctification to seek said holiness, because one of the properties of genuine confession for repentance would be genuinely feeling bad about what you've done and not wanting to do it again. Okay, the necessary outcome of feeling that when you sin and repent for your sins would be to become a better person over the process of your life, sanctification, and then of course. That it's all going to tie back into doing what Jesus would do, living by his commandment. And when we see somebody who's not living by Jesus' commandment, somebody who's breaking it, somebody who said that they've never had to ask God for forgiveness a day in their life, and somebody whose administration and their policy hinges on in opposition to the Bible, the text of the scripture, and loving thy neighbor, caring for them too, treating the poor well, we clearly at the bare minimum wouldn't say that this is a Christian administration, right? Like your point here is to say that you support Trump as president because he's a Christian. Well, hopefully what you mean to say here is you support Trump as president because he's a Christian. He's doing Christian things like being kind to people, helping the poor, loving thy neighbor, not excluding anybody. But that is just not what his administration is doing at all. It almost seems like his administration is being used as a weapon by the devil, right? Because a lot of the things that the Trump administration have done are things that the devil would do. Not to mention doing it all while claiming to be a Christian. I mean, Jesus told him himself, he hates a wolf in sheep's clothing.
Well, I just don't believe you have the right of place to say whether or
Right,
not
because I'm
he's
not a Christian. Right, okay. Yeah, well, I think that the scripture does. The scripture is very clear. Faith without works is dead. Okay? His faith, even if he has it, which I don't think he does, is dead. without the work of repentance, without the work of sanctification, and without the work of trying to live out the scripture as described to us by God. Okay? Because what? The wage of sin is death. Fuck. Should have gotten water.
Okay. Do you want me to like respond to something, or are we just staring?
No, I wanted you to respond to what I just said. Yeah, you can't support Trump because he's a Christian, because he's not doing anything Christian.
Again, you don't have to do Christian things to be a Christian.
Okay, so I just want to clarify that you support Trump even though his administration is anti-Christian in the policy in which they implement, because he says the words, "I'm a Christian."
Yes.
You're a fucking droid. You're legit an idiot. You'd support the Antichrist. You are who they warned us about in Revelation.
How? How at all?
In Revelation, they talk about how there will be an Antichrist that claims to be of the Christian faith, who is then able to gain a horde of followers from every corner of the earth, who's supported by a majority of the people, right? Because they claim to be a representative of the faith. And this is where we get the message from that wolves in sheep's clothing exists, right? All because somebody says they're Christian doesn't mean that they actually are Christian. Okay? And then once again, if all that was required here was to say you're a Christian in order to be Christian, you don't need to do anything. So then why does the New Testament say faith without works is dead? How can you interpret that verse? You are denying the Christian Bible in saying that in order to be a Christian, you just have to say you're a Christian.
I mean, yeah, that's what I think. I wouldn't say that I'm a. I am the follower of what you said earlier, but I'm not the person, you know?
I don't even know what you just said. Just tell me. Like, they talk about this in James. Have you ever read James before?
No, I have not, no.
Okay. In James, it says that faith without works is dead.
Okay. I'm still alive. So is Trump.
Listen, when you joined and you told me that you're 18, were you lying?
Nope, I am 18. I told you this 3 days ago. I tried having a debate with you.
So you understand, when the Bible says faith without works is dead, it's saying that your faith is dead, that you don't have a relationship with God, and you will be dead in the sense that you will not have everlasting life and salvation.
Oh, okay. Yep, I get it. Yep, okay.
So when you say that all that you have to do in order to be Christian is say that you're Christian, you don't have to do anything outside of that. Can you admit that that's a false interpretation of the Christian religion? Because the Bible explicitly says that faith without works is dead?
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Okay, so then you do need to do things to be Christian. So then what is Trump doing to be Christian?
I guess he's not really doing anything, huh?
Okay, so then his faith is dead.
Okay.
So why do you support him?
Point, yeah.
Well, I mean, actually, wouldn't this just be the pivotal, like, turning point for you?
No,
if the argument
actually,
is that you support him because he's a Christian and now you're conceding that he isn't, you should stop supporting him?
Well, I like that he is, keeping America, good. He's
Keeping America good?
deporting people, possibly
Deporting people.
bad people.
Really? I don't think that we should deport undocumented immigrants because we should treat them the same as citizens. Do you think that we should... Do you think that we should treat undocumented immigrants differently than citizens?
Yes, 100%.
Right, so going back to the Bible, this is Leviticus 19, verses 33 and 34. We'll go ahead and read them together. This will be really easy. When a foreigner resides among you in your land, don't mistreat them. The foreigner residing among you must be treated the same as your native born. Love them as yourself, for you were a foreigner in Egypt. I am the Lord your God. So God says to treat them the same. Since you want to make this, debate about Christianity and whatnot.
Well, I think that's very very fair point, but I mean, let's say Hitler, would you have treated Hitler the exact same way? Would you have been loving, kind to him as, well, I wouldn't say you're loving or kind to,
That's
most people.
that's not
but,
the litmus test. No. No. The litmus test isn't that we would treat Hitler the same as anybody else, but rather we would treat a citizen that is like Hitler the same as what we would treat an undocumented immigrant if they were like Hitler, right? Because we treat them the same, right? So if an undocumented immigrant like I'd killed 12 million people, right? We would treat them identically to a citizen that had killed 12 million people.
Okay. So as long as they're doing good, you're fine with them.
I think that we should give them a pathway to residency or citizenship. Let them stay here. Because mass deportation, not only does it seem to introduce some complications within your religious beliefs, but it also destroys our country. It destroys our country's economy. It increases our country's crime rates. It destabilizes our labor force. It reduces GDP growth. It kills median wages. It reduces taxable revenue. Meanwhile, mass amnesty, on the other hand, increases real median wages, increases GDP growth, increases the productivity of our manufacturers, and increases the government revenue that the government collects to then spend on more social safety nets for the betterment of the people.
Okay. Interesting.
And I think that it's hypocritical to say that we need to remove somebody from the country for a victimless misdemeanor, yet we should allow somebody to be president regardless of 34 felonies, a civil conviction of rape, a civil liability claim for defrauding a university, intentionally concealing classified documents at his private estate in Mar-a-Lago, and causing an attempted insurrection on the American government in 2020. Like, all these things clearly amass to much more grave infractions upon our law than than what is typically litigated in a civil court of undocumented entry into America.
Look, I'm not saying that he's, the best person ever and he didn't make bad choices and things of
But you're willing to
that
give him
nature.
significantly more grace than an undocumented immigrant. Why? Why does he get the grace? Why don't they?
Because, probably because he is the president of the United States.
No. The grace that you gave him was making him president. You can't say that you gave him that grace because he is president. No, you gave him that grace to make him president.
Well, even before I could vote, he was already a president before, back in 2016. So,
Okay, so if Trump was
I didn't-
never president in 2017, you wouldn't have voted for him because of his criminal convictions? Because you wouldn't have given him that grace?
Probably, yeah.
Do you understand how stupid that is to say?
Yeah, it's a bit
Because you should want to
bit
hold
stupid,
you
but-
should want to give people less grace the more power that they have. Give grace to the needy underdog, not the totalitarian global leader. Right? Not only can we just understand that intuitively, commonsensically, but we could also understand that practically, right? We should give less grace to people that hold more power. Because sometimes when we give people grace, they take advantage of that. And then they do more harm because we're willing to allow them to because of our additional grace. And clearly, you're going to be able to do more harm with the most powerful position available to any human on earth compared to just, I don't know, a pathway to citizenship in America.
Well, what I believe is that there should be like a system where if you want to,
Kelsey, thank you so much for the level ship.
live in America, you should have to undergo tests, like a background check, like all of these things.
Yeah, me too. Why don't we apply that same standard to the Oval?
I'm not sure.
DB, thank you for the galaxy. Do you agree that we should?
Yeah.
Okay. So that background check would have denied Trump entry to the Oval. Okay, because if a background check wouldn't have turned somebody around that's been convicted of 34 felonies and been held civilly liable for rape. It's not much of a background check. So you're advocating for America to have a system that would have prevented Trump from being president in the first place, right? You seem to be doing the same thing I am. So you're not a Trump supporter.
I am a Trump supporter, yes.
Not if you're advocating for a system to be in place in which would have prevented Trump from ever being president.
Maybe not exactly.
Right? Like, for instance,
Trump?
this is like a pro-segregationist advocating for the system of racial segregation to like prevent black people from walking into white-owned businesses, but simultaneously saying that you support black people and their freedom to transact at any business. Okay, it can't be simultaneously true that you quote unquote support a black person's ability to transact at any business while you support a system to deny black people entry to businesses owned by white people. Very similarly, it can't be simultaneously true that you support Trump as president while also supporting a system, i.e. background checks, in which would have prevented his ability to ever be president in the first place. Those two things are contradictory. And when I make the analogy about supporting black people's ability to transact anywhere while simultaneously supporting racial segregation, I feel like that contradiction becomes very, very clear.
Okay.
Do you agree? Do you agree that you can't say, on one hand, you support black people and their ability to transact at any place of business, while on the other hand, simultaneously saying that you support racial segregation, which is a system that denies black people's ability to transact at any business? You can't believe in those two things at once? Okay, so then you can't say, on one hand, you support Trump as president, yet on another hand, you support the presidents having to first undergo background checks, knowing damn well that if Trump were to undergo that background check, that he would have been denied access to the presidency due to his felonies and civil liability of rape. So they're contradictory. You can't think those two things at once. Either, okay, you're going to have to sit here and like walk back on arguing that there should be background checks for presidents, or you're going to have to sit here and walk back your support for Trump because that background check would turn him around.
Well, I still do believe he was the better option between him and Kamala.
So which one is it? So which one is it? Are you walking back your support for Trump as president, or are you walking back your support for background checks for presidents?
I'll walk back with exactly the person, Donald Trump, but not the right side.
Yeah, and what is the right doing for America today? Can you name like one beneficial thing the GOP has done in the last year and a half? One thing.
Keeping, well, I'd say abortions. Abortions are good. So stopping abortions
are good.
Yeah, the things they're doing with abortions.
Okay, so you want to ban abortions. Do you think that abortion should be illegal
yes.
because abortion is a sin?
Yes.
Okay. Do you think that lying should be illegal because a lying is a sin?
No.
So why should one sin be illegal but the other shouldn't?
Because it's murder?
Because
what are you
it's worse.
talking about?
Because it's a worse sin.
No, it's murder.
Right. It's a sin that's worse. Can you point me to where in the Bible it says that abortion as a sin is worse than the sin of lying?
I cannot now.
No, because
it probably isn't in there.
Because that's not a belief rooted within Scripture or Christianity. That's a belief rooted within your own intuitions. And listen, I'm not denying your intuition. Yeah, I think that murder is worse than abortion. But what I think that murder is worse than lying. But what I'm simultaneously saying here is that's not an argument from the Christian worldview. Yet you seem to be using the Christian worldview in your argument insofar as why you think that abortion is wrong in the first place. So you're just kind of like picking and choosing when you want to apply the Christian worldview and when you don't want to apply the Christian worldview, which is like very selective and illogical.
Okay. Well,
right? Because the Christian worldview can't get us across that line of making abortion illegal. Because per the Christian worldview, if we were to hold to it full-heartedly, every sin would have to be illegal, right? So please now give me an argument for why abortion is wrong in the first place without invoking the Christian worldview.
Because it's murder and murder is a sin.
Okay, well, you've already invoked the Christian worldview by saying that it's murder and murder's a sin. So try again.
That's not at all, no.
What do you think a sin is?
I don't
A transgression
know the
upon God's
definition
moral
of
law.
a sin.
The definition of a sin is an aggression upon God's moral law. So you've already mentioned Christianity. So try again without mentioning Christianity.
Okay, well. I there's like nothing else I could say
So
except for it
if-
is
if-
murder.
Perfect. So then how do you get across the line by saying that because it's a sin it should be illegal?
Because it's
A sin. Okay, well, so is
yes,
lying.
and it's a very extreme sin.
According to what verse in the scripture?
I don't know the entire Bible by heart, but it definitely
So how
says
do you know
something
anywhere
in
in
there
the
that
Bible? Really?
murder
Because
is bad.
okay, just like it says lying is bad. In fact, it says murder is bad and lying is bad in the same place in the Bible. Exodus, the Ten Commandments.
Okay.
So how do we know that murder is worse than lying in accordance with the Christian worldview?
We don't.
Okay, so then you don't know that you could reasonably and justifiably ban abortion because it's a sin that's wrong, but not ban lying because it's a sin that's not as wrong. Once again, that just goes back to your own intuitions. But you cannot like intertwine your own intuitions separate from the Christian worldview with the Christian worldview to advocate for legislation to prevent women and girls from accessing abortion. The reason why I think they should be able to access abortion is because I don't think that abortion is murder. Murder is defined as the unjust termination of a human life, and I don't think that abortion is unjust because there's no reasons why it would be. Okay? Like, the reason why I'd say it's wrong to kill you is because you're a person with a mind that could subjectively interact in the world around us. But fetuses are not people with minds that could subjectively interact in the world around us. They're more like clumps of cells similar to the microbial life forms growing in your teeth or in your stomach, right? They don't really matter. I don't think that biological life has any intrinsic value. There are things that will give biological life value, like the expression of sentience or a mind, but the life in of itself doesn't really matter.
Okay, well, if we want to dive deeper into this conversation, I do believe about a week ago you were on Parker's Live and you said if anyone wants to debate me why there shouldn't be a law that 9-year-olds have to get an abortion, like come and debate me.
Yeah.
Why do you believe that?
Yeah, because I don't think that 9-year-olds can consent to pregnancy.
Okay, what if they want to be young mothers?
See, what if a 12-year-old wants to have sex with JB? Okay, well, they don't really want to because their mind's not developed to the point of being able to understand what sex is. So that's why even when a little kid says, I want to have sex, they can't mean it because they lack the physical ability to consent. Same thing with a 9-year-old becoming a young mother, right? It's not something that a 9-year-old can make an informed decision about. Therefore, they can't make a decision at all. Not to mention that motherhood is antithetical to childhood. It is inherently irrational to suggest that children should be mothers. Okay? 9-year-olds should not be lactating.
You could say the exact same thing for 24-year-olds.
No, because 24-year-olds aren't children.
But their minds aren't fully developed, as you said before.
The argument isn't that you can't consent to any of these things until your mind is fully developed, but rather the argument is you can't consent until any of these things until your mind is sufficiently developed.
Okay. Well,
So do you
Another-
think that
okay.
9-year-olds can consent to pregnancy and motherhood?
yes, 100%.
So then why can't they consent to sex?
They can.
Think about what you just said.
9-year-old can consent to sex.
Are you a pedophile?
How do you at all get that I'm a pedophile from that?
Because you just said that 9-year-olds can consent to sex.
Yes, if they want to have sex, they can have sex.
if a 9-year-old wanted to have sex with you, would it be wrong for you to have sex with them?
Yes, but if it's the exact same age group, what's the problem with it?
So he was just full heart, explicitly endorsing child sex, child rape. Let's not act like it's anything but child rape.
I don't
Wow.
even know what to say. That was disgusting.
Caleb, welcome in. Are you a Trump supporter?
No, I just wanted to say I love you and I love everything that you're doing. Have a great day.
See the difference between Trump supporters that are men and non-Trump supporters that are men? Thank you, Caleb. You have a good rest of your day. See how the man that was a Trump supporter says 9-year-olds can consent to sex. The man that's not a Trump supporter says, "What the fuck was that guy saying? It's disgusting." Do you see are we starting to like see a pattern here almost? I think that we're starting to see like a pattern here. That was fucking disgusting. That shit had me lost for words. I that was so gross, man. What kind of world do we live in, bro? Guys, only hop inside of the queue if you happen to be an American adult that supports Trump as president. If you want to support me, you can find the Venmo and the PayPal and the link tree in the bio on TikTok. Pin message on the other place, and Dean Withers without the Ian Withers. I appreciate you guys for the love and support. We're going to go ahead and try to get that next Trump supporter loaded up into the live right now. Welcome in. Are you MAGA? Bill Hardy, hop in that queue.
Actually, I am not.
I appreciate you for coming up, Glock. We are just talking to people who are MAGA today, so unfortunately I will be removing you from that live stream. Let's go to get the next guest loaded up in 10,000 seconds. Thank you so much for the $20 over on Super Chat. You're the GOAT. Thank you so much, 10,000. It's good to see you today. Let's get 210,000 W's. I appreciate you so much. 10,000 with the $20 says, what the fuck? Yeah, I think you're explaining the reaction of everybody tuning into the live stream. Absolutely. Thank you. I appreciate you for that love and support. You were awesome. Thank you for the $20. Same thing to you, Lord T. Thank you so much for the $50. Lord T, you are awesome. That is so much money. That is so very kind of you. I'm so very grateful. Thank you so much for your kindness and your generosity. You're in here all the time. Thank you for the love, man. 500 Lord TWs in that chat. Lord T with the $50 says, America is fucked if a large majority of young voters start thinking for themselves and stop lap dancing for the top 1%, hoping that they could have a seat at the table. Everybody can't be a rich owner and a CEO of a multinational corporation. No, I agree. America's fucked if Americans wake up. Okay, and when we say America's fucked, we mean the top 1% is fucked. Thank you for the love and support, Lord T. And then Elizabeth, thank you for the $10 over on Super Chat as well, shitting on that last guest. Show some love to Elizabeth for the $10 and for shitting on the last guest. I think that we could all shit on that last guest a little bit more if we wanted to. Dadbot, welcome in.
Hey, Dean, how are you today?
Doing all right. You still a Trump supporter?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Oh, come on, man. You were smart.
I
Listen,
know.
you're smart enough to stop supporting Trump. You are. You're like
It's
like
not
you.
Trump, man. It's the party, dude. We've already.
But the party's a lapdog to him.
Well, not all of them though. That's the thing. Like
And those that aren't a lapdog to him are people
Yeah.
who are hated by Trump that hate Trump. Like, you can't say that you support the GOP because of Thomas Massey. Because Thomas Massey isn't the GOP. He's the
I
black
agree.
sheep of the GOP.
Yeah, I agree.
And if you want the GOP to be comprised of more Thomas Masseys, okay, well, then you need to not support the GOP to influence that outcome in the future.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, well, okay, so this goes back to what I was saying the other day, though, when we were talking about that debate that Steven Crowder had with Nick Fuentes. There are elements of what Nick Fuentes says specific to the Trump administration when he's referencing he wants to hurt the Trump administration, but he does not want to hurt the Republican Party as a whole. Versus Steven Crowder's, rebuttal to all of that was, well, it's a huge risk to, essentially take the Trump administration and try to hurt them, and then that, and not having that potentially trickle down into impacting the Republican Party as a whole, right? So like there are elements of Trump that obviously I don't support, that I've criticized publicly, but as a whole, the Republican Party is still the party of which I tend to at least lean towards.
So therefore you lean towards Trump. This is a party over country view. Why? What's the GOP done for you in the last year and a half? How have they made your life better?
Well, how they made it worse. I mean, I just look at it from a
Sure,
perspective of
by endorsing a war in
economically.
Iran, in which has destroyed this country's economy, leading to skyrocketing oil and gas prices, by supporting the passing of the Big Beautiful Bill, which took health care away from 10 million low-income Americans, food stamps away from 3 million low-income Americans, reduced the purchasing power of over half of this country, for the most part endorsed Donald Trump's unconstitutional tariffs for the first year of his administration, ultimately distancing us from our allies and illegally taxing Americans $92 billion, by emboldening Trump to do whatever the fuck he wants, never supporting any single movement to hold him accountable or impeach him for his high crimes like his attack and assault on the Constitution, separations of power, checks and balances, attack on Americans, weaponizing our streets, not supporting legislation to hold ICE agents that murder American citizens accountable, like Alex Preddy's murder, so on and so forth. These are all things that the GOP has done in the last year and a half to make your life worse. Now, what are the things that they've done in the last year and a half to make your life better?
You got me, man. I can't debate everything that you just said. I mean, I'm trying to process like half of it. So.
Right, and I mean, that's just on the federal level. We stop looking at the federal level, and then we just start looking at around the country. Other things that the GOP has done to make your life worse would be like not supporting legislation to ban child marriage, okay? Attempting to get rid of black majority districts, fucking over the electoral power of black and brown Americans, endorsing policy to increase your local taxes, like the abolition of the federal Department of Education, which would then just leave school districts around this country more reliant on your property taxes, which would then make them increase your property taxes, fighting against the release of the Epstein files. I'll add even more on. See how I'm able just to list off so many ways the GOP has hurt our country in the last year and a half. So many ways.
I agree. I think you're right. I mean, there are the way I'm looking at it from a perspective of as far as wins versus losses, which maybe that's
So what
just
are the
me
wins?
being too micro. They're minimal. I mean, at this time, I mean, we've discussed before HB1. Also, we got to the point where it's the same talking points where
Okay.
every single time someone comes
So do you think that the GOP has more losses than wins in the last year and a half?
yes, for sure.
Okay, so if your standard to generate your support or lack thereof for the GOP would be an evaluation of their wins compared to their losses, then you wouldn't support the GOP today. So what's your actual evaluative standard that you use to determine which political party you support? Because it's not wins versus losses.
Right. It's based on it's based on hypotheticals, unfortunately, at this point in time, and that's the problem, because I think that we're currently, because there's so much going on all the time, it's very difficult to process and then try to come to some sort of conclusion, like using actual discernment to come to a conclusion, just thinking, okay, how does this look 10 years from now or 5 years from now? How is this impacting me right now is where most of us are, right? So like ideally, it would be nice to be able to tell the future, which obviously nobody can. I mean, unless you believe in that, and that's cool. But like everyone's feeling right now what's occurring and what's happening, and everyone
Okay,
is.
so just to be clear, you're telling us
Sure.
that you support the GOP because hypothetically of what they could be doing that they aren't doing.
Yeah. Well, as
Okay.
far as like, I'm
Yeah,
looking at it from
this
a
is like saying that you support Hitler because hypothetically he could have never engaged in the Holocaust.
that's a terrible analogy, but yeah,
It proves a point.
Yeah. No, you're right. I agree with you, dude. I mean, I think that right now, and I'll concede to you because obviously I'm not gonna win this one today. My main concern right now is where do we head from here, and what does the next 10 years actually look like, and do we have the option or ability to find someone who's going to be able to unify this country again? And my main, I guess, what scares me the most is I'm worried that something detrimental is going to happen to the country first before that occurs.
Okay. Well, then we need to stop that detrimental thing from happening by voting for Democrats in the midterms, who are the only party of individuals that are actually willing to hold the Trump administration accountable. Thank you for coming up, man. You said at the end there that you concede. Like I said, that guy's smart enough to know that his beliefs are wrong, because that's like the second time in this week that he's come up on this live to have a quote-unquote debate. But then he just ends up conceding his argument like 5 minutes in. And I appreciate that, because what it tells me is that he has the brain to understand why what I'm saying here is right and why what he's saying here is wrong. I just hope that he applies that to really make that jump to truly fight for the betterment of this country and the people in it, which would mean a total revocation of your support from the bad actors in this country that are hurting it so much. Only up inside of that cube if you happen to be an American adult that supports Trump as president, folks. Only up inside of the cube if you happen to be an American adult that supports Trump as president, folks. David Wilborn, are you MAGA? David Wilborn, going once. David Wilborn going twice. Banned and sold to the next guest. Tracy, thank you so much for that galaxy. You the goat. Lizzie, thank you so much for the galaxy. You the goat.
Hello,
know.
Dean.
Billy, what's good? You support Trump, man?
Yes, for sure.
Tina, thank you for the well diving. You the goat. All right, man. How old are you?
First of all, thank you for letting me speak. And I'm 33.
Okay. And what time is it?
Is it 5:35?
Cool, man. What state are you in?
live Washington, D.C.
Oh, wow. All right, yeah, sounds good. Here, give me a couple seconds here to thank a couple people, then the mic on the floor will be yours. Huge shout out to Kyle for the $10 over on Venmo. Thank you, man. Who says, this is for you and all of the chat that needs an Alka-Seltzer for our brains after that statement. Dude, that was a mess, man. Thank you so much for the $10. I appreciate you. Jose, thank you so much for the $30. Oh my goodness, dude. That's crazy. Thank you for the love, man. All the love in the world to you. That's very, very kind of you. Thank you so much, Jose, for the $30. Wow, man. Thank you. 300 Jose W's down below. Thank you for the love and support. Jose with a 30 says, for Dean, Trump has normalized the dark world of pedos and Nazis, so pedos and Nazis feel okay saying the dark stuff like that out in the open, like that earlier disgusting caller. Stay strong, Dean. It must hurt your soul to have to listen to Mac vomit. God bless, Dean. Well, I appreciate you, Jose. I agree with you. It absolutely is normalized, more so today because of the Trump administration than other points in American history, for sure. Matthew, thank you for the $25 on Venmo. Says, what the fuck was up with that one last caller? Dude, he was nuts. I'm happy that we got him off of here, Matthew. It's good to see you today. Thank you for the $25. You're the GOAT. You already know that, though. Thank you so much for that love and support. Show some love to Matthew down below in that chat. Thank you, man. Over on PayPal, thank you for the $5. Aiden, who says, disgusting people. Love you. I think that was because a previous guest had called people on the left disgusting. Appreciate you for the $5. Jenna, thank you so much for the $5 as well. I'm so sorry to hear that, Jenna. Nobody deserves that. And Ashley, thank you for the $5. And Harold, thank you for the $10. I appreciate you guys. Thank you all so much for that love and support. If you want to support me, you want to support that live stream, you can find the PayPal Venmo link in the bio on TikTok. Pin message over in that other place. And right there, Dean Withers without the Ian Withers. Man, how the hell do you support this terrible president?
Because I like his politics. He's fighting for the freedom of the country.
Yeah, is he fighting for the freedom of the country when it says it's now illegal to criticize him in the media? Is that freedom?
Even the other parties say the same thing.
Could you show me that?
Yes, I can search
Crazy. Thank you for the gym gun.
But I have a question. Don't
After you answer mine, because you just said that the Democrats also say it's illegal to criticize us in the media. Show me that.
I have not a PC in front of me, you know. You have a PC in front of you.
Okay, so if you're going to make the claim with no evidence, I'm going to dismiss it.
Okay,
with no
do you
evidence.
trust the FBI?
I trust them sometimes. And other times I don't. It's very context dependent.
Okay, you know what Parker says? Parker says that Michael Jackson is a pedophile.
You want to talk to me about MJ, bro? Come on.
No. Don't skip that topic. Do you think Michael Jackson is a pedophile?
That's a fair perspective for people to hold.
Oh, you think Michael Jackson is a pedophile?
No, me personally, I don't know. Okay, because listen. I'm trying to tell you. Let me respond. No. Let me actually respond to what you're saying here. Personally, I don't know. Okay, I've done a little bit of a deep dive into the cases against him, into what the prosecutor said. Like even like a first year law student could have debunked this case. I've done a deep dive into like the Neverland documentary, like that one family that lived with him, where the parents were just straight up con artists, and how even like the children that then testified in court against MJ were like contradicting each other and all this shit, and like their mother was like found guilty of like conning some like other rich person for money, so on and so forth.
Okay.
Right? And how a lot of the parts of the case seem to like fall apart. You know, I've also gone through how like inside of his house, he was like low-key a hoarder, and like a lot of the books inside of that house that they like indicated to possess like child pornography or like whatever either didn't, or if they did, were like still in like a package sent by a fan that was never opened by MJ, so on and so forth. And then ultimately all the cases were dropped 10 years later. But the reason why I say that still yet a fair perspective to hold is because there's definitely some other things that are like damning. You know, like why was he sleeping in the same bed as a kid? That
doesn't mean he does something to a kid.
And you know, like all these other things, so on and so forth, right? That's why I say I think that this is one of those issues where it's like fair to hold a reasonable perspective that he's guilty, and I also very similarly think it's fair to hold a reasonable perspective that he's innocent. But no, that's not what we're debating.
Oh, you want to skip that debate because you lose that debate.
No, this is like walking into a Chick-fil-A and asking for a tire.
You think that Michael Jackson is a pedophile,
Marcy,
but he isn't.
He isn't. Listen to what I'm saying.
FBI investigate 10 years Michael Jackson and didn't find anything.
Listen to what I'm saying.
He's innocent.
Listen to what I'm saying.
He's innocent.
Okay, thanks, man.
You can search.
that's also
Please
a
let
fair
me
perspective
talk.
to hold.
I let you talk. Don't invite me. Don't invite me. They investigate 10 years that Michael Jackson, Neverland, all his houses, they didn't find anything. Who are you to claim that Michael Jackson is a pedophile?
That's
You
not
or
something that I
Parker?
have. Listen.
No.
I just explained this all. Listen,
Yeah.
there's a lot of good reasons to believe he's innocent.
No,
There's a lot of-
there are any
let me-
reasons. Any
let-
reasons.
you're-
He's an
Bro,
innocent man.
You're so hot and flustered.
You
You're not
committed
even.
a felony. You committed a felony saying
Listen,
that
bro.
he's guilty because you don't have any proof to say that.
Listen.
And you are here in a platform.
Oh my God.
And you're saying that. You're committing a felony and you know that. He's innocent. You
Okay.
respect the name of Michael Jackson. Respect it. You and
Okay, I
Parker,
don't-
respect it.
I don't think that you're actually listening to what I have to say. I think that
No,
you're
no,
hot and
you are
fluff. Okay.
listening to me. Respect the name of Michael Jackson, you and Parker, because
Mm.
if you say he's guilty, you are committing an felony because you don't have any proof to say that, and you
Mm.
are here in a platform saying that.
Yeah. Okay.
Respect Michael.
I wish that you would just listen to what I have to say instead of just like screaming over me then leaving. Wait, he left. He literally did scream over me then leave. Brother. Okay. Listen, even like MJ historians hold to the perspective that it's fair for people to think that he's guilty. Okay? Like MJ historians that think he's innocent. like this is one of those issues where it's fair to think he's innocent, but it's also fair to think he's guilty. There's a lot of reason to believe that he's innocent. The 10-year case fell apart. They couldn't find him guilty of anything. Family was like found to be lying in many scenarios. Like no evidence he ever did anything with kids, specifically to do with the fact that a lot of the testimony against him was bullshit. It's fair to believe that he's guilty. There's a bunch of like weird books found in his house. He said that he likes to like literally have the children sleep in the bed with him, so on and so forth. So for that reason, it's very, 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 very fair to say that he's innocent, very, very, very fair to say he's guilty, and that's just one of those opinionated matters where ultimately people will disagree, all right? And I think that sometimes we just have to be okay with people disagreeing on things that are so incredibly nuanced and so incredibly complex. Welcome in. Do you support Trump?
Hey, what's going on? Okay, yeah, yes, and I support some of the things he does. I don't support a lot of the things he does.
Okay, so if the election was held tomorrow between Trump and Harris, who'd you vote for?
Not Trump.
All right, man. We're looking for people who'd answer Trump to that question, so I hope you have a good rest of your day, dude. Only up inside of that queue if you happen to be an American adult that supports Donald J. Trump as president, please and thank you. Please and thank you. Let's go to get the next guest loaded up in the box right now. We got Art Freak 7 stars. Oh yeah, something else that like I didn't bring up there would be like the settlements that like Jackson made. Didn't he like he paid out like a $23 million settlement to Chandler's family to resolve civil litigation against him. Now, a settlement once again that doesn't like legally indicate guilt, but it could be seen socially as something that is used to like suppress evidence by preventing the court from ever getting to discovery. Welcome in. Do you support Trump?
Yes.
Okay, how old are you?
18.
What year were you born in?
2008 January.
Okay, are you British? Marcy, thank you for the galaxy.
No, actually Arab.
Okay, no worries. Sorry, I thought I heard a British accent. Are you, what time is it?
5:43.
Okay, what state are you in?
New York.
Okay. What's the capital of New York?
The capital of New York? I don't know.
What's one state that borders New York?
How am I supposed to know that?
Name 2 cities in New York.
Okay, you got me. I'm from Jordan. Hey, Dean. I'm a big fan, though.
I appreciate you. Have a good one. Please follow the rules of the live stream. Yo, Marcy, I appreciate you so much for all that love, bro. You've been going crazy today. Just know that I really appreciate you. Show some love to Marcy down below in that chat while we're working on getting that next guest up here for a debate. Please follow the rules of the live stream. Don't be wasting my time like that. Only up inside of that queue if you happen to be an American adult that supports Trump as president. If you're not an American adult that supports Trump as president, you're awesome. I appreciate you, but like, this isn't a live for you. This isn't a live for you. Over on Super Chat, dude, Cam, thank you so much for the $50, bro. I appreciate you. You were the GOAT of the hour. Let's get 500 Camp W's down below in that comment section. Thank you so much for that love and support, Camp. Show some love to Camp. Show some love to Camp. Camp with a 50 says, remember when Alabama's Senate candidate Roy Moore was the lowest we thought right-wingers could sink? Now we have right-wingers saying, quote-unquote, women are at their prime in their mid-teens, which is barely away from Game of Thrones, has the girl had her blood crap. Thank you for the $50, Camp. Yeah, the GOP has really, been lost. And that is an irrefutable fact. Thank you for the $50. You the GOAT. I appreciate you. You already know that, Camp. You're already tuning in. Thank you so much, man. MAGA55903, do you support Trump?
We are Charlie Kirk.
All right, guys, we are really struggling to find Trump supporters today. Really big reason why we're struggling so much is the simple fact that not too many Trump supporters exist anymore. Americans are turning against the Trump admin in drones, okay? Droves is what I meant to say. So if you happen to be, a part of that very scared minority of people watching the stream that are Trump supporters, feel free to hop in that queue. The queue is literally designed for you, but there's so few of you guys left. And out of those that are left, you're too much of a coward to debate me because I'll beat you. That now the queue has just been overtaken by fetuses that want to troll. Even though I explicitly say don't join the queue if you're a fetus that wants to troll. They there's still enough people to usurp the amount of people that are actual Trump supporters, which just shows you how few Trump supporters really are left. Don't be scared, you guys. Don't be scared, you guys. Come on. Fight against those trolls in the queue. All right, dominate the queue with the MAGA with the MAGA patriotism. Welcome. And do you support Trump, Pamela?
I did until I didn't get my stimulus. Where is our stimulus that he promised us?
Well, that does it. Love to hear it. You're right. He did promise $5,000 Doge checks. He promised $2,000 tariff checks. None of it happens. All right, none of it happened. You're never going to see that a day in your life. Welcome. And do you support Trump?
Do you think he made his money from being a president, or?
Answer my question. Are you a Trump supporter?
Yes.
And how old are you?
22.
And what time is it?
Eastern time, 5:47.
What state are you in?
New York.
What's the capital of New York?
Manhattan.
Albany, buddy. How do we get 2 Brits in a row on that shit? That's wild. Moving on to the next guest. Only up inside of the queue if you happen to be an American adult that supports Trump as president. 2 in a row? 2 in a row, dude? Wow, that's a new record, man. That's a new record. 1776 all over again. The British are coming. Let's go to get the next guest loaded up in the box. Hey, Isabella. Wow, thank you for the $10 who says, we need to bring back public shaming in the streets for that pedo guest. That was nuts. I appreciate you, Isabella. Let's get 100 Isabella W's and 200 Brian W's for the $20 as well, who says, Mr. Smart Guy wants you to convince him, hence the repetition. Oh, you're talking about Dadbot, who pops up here twice a week. Yeah, you're probably right, man. Thank you for the $20. I appreciate you for supporting the stream and what we do here, man. It really goes a long way. Thank you so much. Show some love to Brian in that chat. Welcome in. Do you support Trump?
Yes, I do.
Okay, can you unmuffle your mic, please?
Can you hear me? Hello?
Dude, there's literally a mile of lint between you and the microphone on your phone, unless you are talking to me through a Bluetooth device. In that case, just disconnect the Bluetooth device. While he's doing that, let's see here. Thank you so much, Mallory, for the 10 cents on Venmo. Is this the right account? Yeah, it is. There's 3 accounts with the same name. Yeah, guys, that's why it's important. If you do want to support me on Venmo or PayPal, please go through the link tree in the bio of my TikTok account, or through the link in the description of the YT, because there's so many other fake accounts out there. Money Rules, what's up?
Yeah, can you hear me better?
I'm sorry, man. It's still muffled. Disconnect any Bluetooth device that you have connected to your phone.
Let me just leave and come right back.
Oh man, I'm gonna drop you so you can figure that out. Once you do figure that out, feel free to hop back in that queue. Welcome in. Do you support Trump?
Yeah, I support Trump.
And how old are you?
I'm 22.
Echo?
You said what? Echo?
Echo? Okay, the echo's fixed.
Yeah, my fault.
Yeah,
Yeah, you know what? Never mind. Yeah.
Yeah. So why do you support the idiot?
Well, I support Trump because he's changing the world. He's changing the world for the better. And a lot of people may hate it, love it. You know, he's the type of person where like he gives off tough love, but you might think it's abuse or like he's, you know, but it's not. It's tough love, you feel me? Like he's changing America for the better so America can continue to be number one. So other countries could have respect towards America.
What is it like being so fucking delusional?
I'm not being delusional. Would you rather be a Biden supporter and a Kamala supporter? I'd rather be a Trump supporter than them other, you know, Democrats.
Yeah, you're saying the reason why you're saying that is because you think he's changing America for the better. Yeah, is that why our economy is in the fucking gutter? Is that why jobs reports are at a historical low? Is that why manufacturing bankruptcies are at a historical high? Is that why we're seeing the most inflation for the price of groceries in 4 years?
I mean, trading with other countries and everything. It takes time, bro. It takes time to come with, you know, with agreements to make things better for the people. Like, it takes time.
Wait.
It's not something
specifically
that happens overnight. Like,
what takes time?
Everything. Prices to go down.
No. Be
energy to
specific.
come down.
What is
All
Donald
of
Trump
that.
doing today that is hurting our country now that will make our country better in the long term?
He's hurting us more so on the gas right now, because with gas is what causes energy and brings the prices down with food, all that stuff. So right now, what a lot of people that is Trump supporters that they don't, you know, really like, you know, when they go to the pump, is seeing that they have to pay like $4 something for regular, and he's promised to bring gas down, and you know. That's something where, as a Trump supporter, that puts me in the middle right now. Like,
I'm sorry. You're not answering the question that I asked you. Can you repeat the question that I asked you?
You asked what is the main thing right now that he's doing that's hurting the economy?
No.
And I said the
no,
price
that was
of
not the
gas.
question that I asked you.
All right, re-ask the question, man.
The question that I asked you is, well, what is one thing that Donald Trump is doing that is hurting our country now that will actually help our country in the long term?
Well, one thing that he is doing is not coming to certain agreements with other countries, because if he would have, things would possibly be better right now. And
can you give me an example?
As time goes, what Canada, Mexico.
Wait. So
especially with China.
So what is Donald Trump doing specifically geared towards Canada that's hurting us now that will help us in the long term?
What he's doing with Canada is like, you know, going back and forth with the prime minister over there, not coming with certain, not coming to certain agreements when it comes to like the energy, because
so like what
Canada
agreement is he
provides,
not
like, a lot
coming
of
to that's
energy.
hurting us that's going to help us in the long term?
The tariffs for Canada. I think that's something that's kind of hurting.
Okay, so the imposition of
us,
tariffs
but
on Canada.
It's better for America.
Okay, so I'm not even quite sure that we have active tariffs on Canada right now, but let's assume we do. How is that going to help us in the long term?
Well, that's gonna help us with trade. You know, continue to keep the dollar alive.
How?
Taxing them for all the, like, for everything. We help them with security. Like, we're providing security to Canada right now, and they're not paying for that. They're not paying for that. Like security to protect their nation and all that stuff.
All right.
Based on certain things.
You take care. Literally just like incoherent gibberish, man. Let's go to move on to the next guest. Only opposite side of that queue if you happen to be an American adult that supports Donald J. Trump as president. For all of those who are tuning into the stream now that maybe weren't here when we first started the stream, I was very clear, okay? What I said, I'll repeat it now, is that yesterday I didn't have a lot of fun with my stream, okay? Because by the end of the stream, I was like up here saying like, I don't know how long I'm going to continue to do these lives. I don't know how long I'm going to continue to do these debates. And I've been reflecting on that a lot over the course of the last 24 hours. And I think the biggest thing that has been making these streams like not fun for me in the slightest recently is like giving the mic to straight morons. You know what I mean? Like, so what we're going to start doing is when somebody is just simply too uneducated, too unintelligent to even just have like a partially cogent dialogue about why they support Trump as president. Like yapping about like random fucking shit like, trade agreement with Canada, no trade agreement, tariffs, goods, dollar, protection. Like, we're just going to kick him out, bro. We're just going to kick him out. Welcome in. Do you support Trump?
Yeah.
Okay. How old are you?
21.
Can you disconnect any Bluetooth device that you have plugged into your phone? While you're doing that, I'm going to thank a couple people. Dude, Miss Lindsay, oh my goodness. Miss Lindsay, thank you so much for the $50 donation on Venmo. I really appreciate you so much for that, love. Let's get 500 Lindsay W's in that chat. Thank you. Thank you so much. That is fucking ridiculous. That is so much money. I really appreciate you. Say something real quick.
Is it better?
Not really. Lindsay with a $50 says, my monthly subscription, heading to the UK to see family tomorrow. I'm a Brit with an English accent, also a US citizen. Unfortunately, we can't debate because you rock and Trump sucks. Love you, Dean. Oh, love you too, Lindsay. Thank you for the $50. I hope that you have a lot of fun seeing your family tomorrow. Tell them what's up. Appreciate you for being here and hope that you enjoyed today's stream. Please show some love to Lindsay down below in that chat. Gucci.
Oh, yeah, I disconnected it.
Yep, we could hear you. We can hear you much better now. I'm going to go to take a moment, thank a couple more people, then the mic on the floor will be yours. Once again, Lindsay, thank you for the $50. That is beyond kind of you. Nicole, thank you so much for the $5. I really appreciate you, Nicole. Shout out to Nicole in that chat. Jamie and Colin, thank you for the $5 over on PayPal as well. Y'all are awesome. Thank you, you guys. Over on Super Chat, Nike, thank you so much for the 50 Canadian dollars. Thank you. Wow, you guys have been so kind to me today. I don't understand what I'm doing to deserve any of this, but thank you so fucking much. That is so much love. Thank you, Nike. Let's get 500 Nike W's. Nike with the 50 says, biggest Super Chat I send. Yes, Trump changing it for the better. The world is waking up and saying, we don't need your shit anymore. It sucks. I would like to go to the Anime Con in the USA, but because Vice, I can't. Well, Nike, I appreciate you the $50. Yeah, that's like the silver lining, right? A progressive revolution rejecting this madness. Thank you so very much for the 50 Canadian dollars. You are the GOAT. And we have one last person to thank for now before I pass that mic back to the guests. Miss Jenna, thank you for the $100 super chat over on the other place. You are the absolute fucking GOAT. Jenna sent that donation with no message. Jenna, I know that you've been watching for months. All the love in the world to you. Thank you so much for your kindness and your generosity. You've always been so kind to me. Genuinely, I'm so fucking grateful for it. $100, that's insane. Thank you, Jenna. I want to see 1,000 Jenna W's, 500 Nike W's. Show some love to Lindsay and all of the other donors. If you're watching and you want to support me, you can find my Venmo and my PayPal in the link tree in my bio on TikTok. Pin message on that other place. And Dean Withers without the... Just make sure that you double check the spelling. There's around a billion fake Venmo and PayPal accounts of me out there. Chances are you're probably going to send it to one of them. That's the best way to support the stream as well. It allows us to continue to be able to do this for 4 hours a day, 7 days a week. Also, just a really great medium to like ask a question about anything. If you want to ask a question, you know, that's a great way to do it. Thank you for your patience, man. Go ahead and take it away. Tell us why you are a Trump supporter. Yikes.
I'm a Trump supporter because it seems like Democratic men are soft. You can always tell if somebody's a Democrat. It's like they look smaller.
Okay. Do I look like a Democrat? Like me? So what about me screams soft?
I don't know. Your voice.
My voice.
Your attitude.
My attitude.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Your testosterone levels.
Not the size of my bicep though, right?
The thing about it is, bro.
Want to compare physiques? See who's more manly? You want to do that? Seriously? You down?
I mean, I would. I'm at work though.
Oh, okay. All right. Sounds good. All right. So what about my voice and my attitude are soft?
All right. Let's talk about the deeper level because it's not just you.
No, let's
it's a big problem.
Let's stick on this super like surface toxic masculinity level. I'm good at this game because I just so happen to fulfill like the typical characteristics that you guys would associate with a real man, right? Now, but you've isolated it down to voice and attitude. So what about my attitude screams that I'm soft?
It's a testosterone thing, you know?
Well, I'm so sorry. Have you measured my testosterone levels?
Democrats, bro, y'all, it's like y'all are selling us out from the inside out, bro.
Can I get a yes or no? Have you measured my testosterone levels?
Look, the thing is
the answer to that question a no? I think the answer to that question is a no, right? So no, you haven't measured.
You can go
my
and drop them in the chat.
Okay, do you know what testosterone levels are measured in?
Yeah, but this is
what are they measured in?
Yeah.
Can you tell me? Can you tell me what testosterone is measured in?
All right, look. Anybody can tell that you is soft as fuck. You know, it's not nothing that could be like only me I could tell. But people are cool with that because
Gracie,
they
thank you for the
like soft man that like, oh yeah, everything has to be good and everything all that. Like that shit is not good, bro. That shit not good for progressive society or nothing, bro.
I mean, you've still yet been able to describe to me, right, why I'm soft. You're saying that I'm soft. In order to be a real man, do you have to like rape women like Trump?
You act like a
is that
girl
your claim?
Sometimes, bro, when I watch you
like,
sometimes, bro.
Are you claiming that in order to be a real man, you got to rape women like Trump? Because Court found him guilty of rape.
Raped a woman.
Yeah, Court found him guilty of rape in 2023. He raped a woman by the name of Eugene Carroll.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie. I don't really get into all that shit because let's be real.
Okay.
Motherfuckers be rich as shit. And motherfuckers be trying to get out and get some of that piece of that shit, and I'm
but you can't just say like, oh, he raped me, then the court rules, so you got to give me $100 million. No, you got to like prove it to a jury of 9.
If it was true evidence, I'm sure he'd be in prison.
Okay, and if you were educated, you know that civil courts don't send people to jail. Damn.
So from civil court, from somebody losing a civil suit, that can't lead to a prosecution.
Well, it can't lead to prosecution when the statute of limitations is passed.
Ain't that what happened with Diddy? Didn't Diddy lose the lawsuit? Then he ended up going to jail after that.
See, the thing is that the statute of limitations hadn't expired in Diddy's circumstance.
All right, let's talk about how the Democrats are selling us out from the inside out.
Sure.
So it's like if you see one thing about the Republicans, one of their memos is they're trying to put us first and put us back on top, you know? But, you know, a lot of Democrats, they're cool with us having, cheap goods or cheap gas, but letting China take us over completely, you know what I'm saying? And if we stay on that road, we will be getting taken over by different countries like China very soon. Okay. China is manufacturing on a crazy level, and we're barely manufacturing. Trump actually want to bring manufacturing back to the U.S. Yeah. And what's wrong with that? You feel what I'm saying?
Well, what's wrong with that is that's not what he's actually doing.
It's like, it's cool. We rather give it to China, and then China end up fucking us over in the long run, you know?
Yeah. So in order for us to have more manufacturers, we have to invest more into building manufacturing plants. The Biden-Harris administration oversaw trillions of dollars worth of private investment into American manufacturing. The massive boom that you see in the chart right here was the level of investment into American manufacturing that we saw under their administration. Trump takes over, and every single quarter since, it has gone down. So actually, Trump is fucking American manufacturing over because he is disincentivizing investment in American manufacturing by destabilizing the market. Not to mention that we're seeing this in the real world via like economic facts such as last year, we had the most manufacturing bankruptcies since 2010, the most layoffs since the pandemic at 1.3 million, with slow GDP growth and crippled productivity. So you actually have Trump to thank for killing American manufacturing. But what do I know? I'm just soft, right?
So let's relook at that chart again. If you really look at that time, that was around COVID times too, and people were getting a lot of free money that they're not getting no more, and we really is paying a price for all that free money they gave out for businesses like PPP loans and stuff.
So this was the pandemic.
2021, 2022.
So we rebounded from the pandemic in 2022, Q1 of 2022. And everything after this is just raw growth. And if you want to know what the Biden-Harris administration did to achieve that growth, well, it was a policy like the CHIPS and Science Act, which was a $220 billion 10-year investment into building chip production manufacturing plants on American soil. But that actually then spontaneously caused over $500 billion in private investment into American chip producing and created over 500,000 jobs. They just made the market really attractive to private investors because they made it predictable. They were able to inject public funds when necessary to kick investments off. Unlike Trump, who's just made the market so unpredictable by one day starting a war, the next day imposing illegal tariffs on all the other countries in the world, and then like the next day endorsing the murder of American citizens on the streets of this country at the hand of ICE thugs, right? So I think that my point here is clear. If you want to support American manufacturing, you got to support the Dems.
Do you know why Trump was giving out the tariffs though?
Probably because he wanted more soft power. Like implementing tariffs on other countries around the world comes with like granting you more soft power.
This was the real reason though. For years, people have been overcharging us and overpricing us. And most countries that we put tariffs on, they've been had tariffs on us for the longest time. Just like Europe, it's barely any American cars, but it's always European cars here. It's all these things that we sit here and make it seem like we're wrong, but we've been getting messed over for years. And Trump
so we just wanted like
hey,
we wanted a fair deal for Americans, right?
Yeah, fair deal. Make people respect us more, not look at us as just somebody they can get free money from.
But like, how did that hypothesis work out? Did the Americans actually get a better deal? Obviously not. Investment in American manufacturing is down. Bankruptcies are up. Okay, jobs are down. Inflation's up. We got to legally tax $92 billion. No, listen. That's why. Like, I don't even need to like explain to you the nuances of why you're wrong in your evaluation about how we impose the tariffs, because we can actually accept that your evaluation is correct, because it seems to still want to aim to achieve the goal of giving Americans a better deal. But Americans have gotten a significantly worse deal because of Trump's tariffs. Just look at all the economic outcomes. Like, do you deny that our economy is worse off today than it was a year and a half ago under Biden? Do you deny that?
I mean, yeah, the economy is worse.
Okay, so Americans have not gotten a more fair deal. Listen, Trump, do you agree that so far? Do you agree? Do you agree? Do you agree? Do you agree that so far Americans have not gotten a fair deal?
It takes time for a failure to happen. Things don't happen overnight, bro.
But the tariffs don't exist anymore, bro.
It's been a system going on for 50, 60, 70 years.
The tariffs don't exist anymore, bro. SCOTUS ruled them as unconstitutional. He changes them by the day. You can't say that in order to reap the reward of Donald Trump's tariffs, it's just going to take time and we're just going to have to sit for a while longer, when these tariffs are so temporary by nature. One day he's imposing them on all the other countries in the world. The next day he's backing off for the universal tariffs. The next day it's just on the EU. The next day he takes them off the EU because the leader of Switzerland gave him a nice compliment and a watch over the phone. The next day we have 40% tariffs on Argentina. The next day we're revoking them, then giving them $40 billion to stimulate their economy. One day he's negotiating better trade agreements with Mexico and Canada to reduce tariffs. The next day he's pulling out of those agreements, then imposing tariffs and reducing them again, right? None of his tariffs have been long-term by nature. And he's been imposing them based upon emotional whims, not perceived geopolitical advantages or projected economic outcomes, okay? And we have a lot of evidence for that too, because if he was just implementing these tariffs based upon perceived geopolitical advantages or economic outcomes, then he wouldn't have imposed a 15% tariff on every other country in the world because he was mad that the Supreme Court called his first round of tariffs unconstitutional, okay? It wasn't just like spontaneously the same day that SCOTUS ruled his first round of tariffs as unconstitutional, all of a sudden there was this massive geopolitical advantage to tariff every other country in the world. No, he was just pissed at SCOTUS, so then he took out that vengeance on the globe.
Okay. I mean, you can have a point on that. Do you believe that if certain shit stays the way it stays, that we won't get sold out to a different country or to different countries?
The question on its own is like super confusing.
Well,
you're not specifying what has to remain the same. You're not specifying what questions.
Look how much farmland China owns in America and USA.
Okay.
So when you see things like that, it's like it shows that some shit has to be changed, or it's going to get to a point where we're going to be really fucked. Especially if we're so dependent on China with manufacturing things, and then they want to do what's happening now.
Dude, I'm sorry. This is my last time repeating this. I hate going in circles with people that aren't intelligent enough to keep up. If you want to give us some type of manufacturing upper hand over countries like well, then maybe the first thing that the first thing that you shouldn't have said to me when you joined this live is that I'm soft. If you can't take even an insult such as me pointing out your lack of intelligence in return, don't dish it unless you could take it. But now continuing with my statement that I've already made multiple times in the middle of this conversation, there's no way you could sit here and argue that Donald Trump is giving us an upper hand over other countries such as China by emboldening our manufacturers when our manufacturers have only been failing under his administration. I already showed you the graph that demonstrated that every single quarter so far under Trump, the investment in them have gone down. I've already given you the facts from the Bureau of Labor Statistics that demonstrates last year America oversaw the most manufacturing bankruptcies since 2010 on the tail end of the Great Recession, started by a Republican, by the way. I've already gone over the other facts with you, such as the failing jobs report. Okay, in 2024 under Biden, we added 1.8 million private sector jobs. Then in 2025 under Trump, we added 170,000 private and public sector jobs. How can you say that Trump is reindustrializing America when our economy is fucking dying? We're only giving more power to other countries such as China to then pick up the economic productivity that we're losing because of Trump, to then start filling in the gaps where our exports used to land by then selling their products to other countries in the EU, UN, and across the globe because they could buy the same product from China for a significantly lower cost because China they're not taxing them 50% on their imports or exports.
And Democrats is terrible for black people too. So that's another reason that I'll never be a Democrat.
How so?
Because if you think of all the laws that ever came to help black people with crime laws or the crack law or the laws that Joe Biden made or the laws that Kamala made that put two hundreds of people in jail for life for weed in California. You feel me? That's all Democratic laws. That's not Republican law.
All right, I gotta kick you because you said the name of DRUGS on TikTok. TikTok just heavily restricts your ability to do that. Unfortunately, they shoot people down for that, so I got to remove you now. But to quickly critique you here, yeah, I don't think that the Democrats are perfect for black people, undoubtedly, but I just think that they're better than the Republicans, okay? Right? Like, when have you seen, like, a Democratic administration in modern American history straight up give authorization to ICE agents to explicitly racially profile people because they're black and brown? You know, when have we seen a Democratic president in modern American history post pictures depicting successful black people as apes online? Well, the right is significantly more racist than the left. And that's why the right does it, because they could get away with it. In fact, they'll even get supported for doing it. Okay? This is why the GOP has never ran a black man or a black woman in a presidential general election. It's because they don't have enough support to support a person of color in a general election. Welcome in. Do you support Trump? Okay, she's just straight up not here. We're going to get that next guest loaded up in the box, guys. We are still looking for some debates. We want to talk to some Trump supporters. By the way, if you want to ask me a question, get a message across, or just generally support the live stream and what we do here, you can find the Venmo and the PayPal and the link tree in the bio on TikTok, pin message on that other place, and Dean Withers without the E and Withers right there. Just make sure that you double check the spelling on that @ because guess what? There's a bunch of fake accounts out there. Chances are you're probably donating to them. Hey, over on Super Chat, thank you, Laura, for the 20 euros. I appreciate you, Laura. That is Lora. Show some love to Laura down below in that chat. Thank you so very much for that love and support. You are awesome. Laura with the 20 euros says, hey, I'm from Bulgaria, live in the UK. Never imagined myself watching political live streams every night, but one of the most powerful countries is being led by President Nutjob. You need someone to wake people up. Thank you for your service, Dean. Well, thank you, Laura, for watching the live streams, and thank you for the $20. You're awesome, and I couldn't agree more. Donald Trump is president Nutjob. Brad, thank you for the $20 on Super Chat as well. Let's also get 200 Bread W's down there. Thank you for supporting me and what we do here. Brad with the $20 says, always remember that you're doing amazing things and changing hearts, no matter how many trolls and morons you deal with. Well, thank you, Brad. I need that reminder every once in a while, and I think I need that reminder today, because, oh boy, we are only an hour and 25 minutes into the stream, but oh my goodness, These people suck. Thank you so very much for that love and support. On Venmo, thank you, Abby, ABI, for the 15 bucks. I appreciate you so much for that love, Abby. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Please show some love to Abby. Abby, I know that you're always watching the stream. Thank you for supporting me and what we do. Ian, thank you so much for the $50 donation on Venmo. We got the GOAT in the building. That is EAN. Brother, that is so much money. That goes a long way in the small town that I live in. Thank you, dude. Let's go. Ian with the 50 says, hey, Dean, it's Ian and Jazz again. Shout out to Ian and Jasmine. Best couple of all time. They say, keep up your amazing work. It still blows my mind that people support this regime. I often question how we got here in the first place, right? Well, I don't think that Donald Trump is the cause of a lot of the issues that we face today. He's just merely the symptom. I think that America has been in a place for a long time where our electorate has been uninformed, uneducated, and in many ways prejudiced. And I think that Donald Trump is just finally exposing that. He's the culmination of the people, right? Thank you. Thank you for the $50, Ian. I appreciate you. Same thing to Dylan. I appreciate you for the 40 cents. Fallon, thank you for the $2. Nicole, thank you for the $1. Mia, thank you for the $5. Mallory, thank you for the $5. And with all that being said, we're all caught up. Welcome in. Do you support Trump? Hello? Okay, going once, going twice. We'll to the next guest. That's fine. We got Metalhead Loser loading up in the box. Fussy, good to see you. Thank you for the $10 on PayPal. Who says, hey, Dean. Not out loud? Okay, I'll keep that to myself, Fussy. I was just about to read it, so I'm happy I saw that. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Daniel, thank you for the $10 over on PayPal. Who says, for being an Omega male, please inform this guest that he's a little guy. Little guy, so true. Could not have said it better myself. Thank you so much for the $10. Jamie with the $5. I appreciate you. Colin and Ajax, thank you guys for the $5 as well. Now we're really caught up. Metalhead Loser, welcome in. Do you support Trump? Also not here? Guys, I think that we have a serious issue. Well, actually, not an issue. A serious win. A lack of Trump supporters inside of that queue. Not too many left, guys. Not too many left. Welcome in. Do you support Trump? Your mother's barber? You MAGA, bro?
No, I'm not. I'm sorry. I want to...
All right. We are only looking to debate Trump supporters today. I'm not going to ban you because I don't have the rules up on screen. So, frankly, we're just going to go to put the rules up on screen. Are there any MAGA women watching? Are there, like, seriously, are there any MAGA women watching? Where are the MAGA women at? I would love to debate a MAGA woman. Where are y'all at?
So,
welcome in. Do you support Trump?
Yeah, I do. And I actually think that's
How
really
do you-
commendable that you hold these conversations between
Lits?
both aisles. What?
Lits?
Yeah, I think it's really commendable that you hold these conversations.
Yeah,
And I think
get
it's
outta here, bro.
of
You're
much
not MAGA.
importance.
Get
What?
outta
I
here.
am. I'm not even lit, dude. I'm not.
No, bro, you're not MAGA. You're not MAGA. LARP. He's LARPing. We got Mr. LARP over here. We got Mr. LARP over here. Not MAGA. He has a Philbro accent. I could just tell. I think that it's this guy named Lit. And if it's not Lit, then it's some other Philbrow. Get the LARPer out of here. Let's go to get the next guest loaded up in the box right now. Only up inside of the queue if you happen to be MAGA, please and thank you. Hi, welcome in. Do you support Trump? Apple user, hello? LARP, LARP, LARP. To that last guest. Okay, Apple user's not here as well. Guys, we're still looking for the next Trump supporter. I'm trying my best to find a singular person who's down to come up here and have a conversation with me. It's definitely getting pretty difficult. We got a bunch of trolls in the queue, guys. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to give you guys 5 minutes to leave that queue before I just start banning y'all. Yes, I am talking to you, Marilyn. I am. Yes, I am talking to you, Marcy. I am also talking to you, let's see here, Dylan, Landon. Like, I am talking to you guys. Let's follow those rules, guys. Let's follow those rules, everybody. Try your best. Follow those rules, please and thank you. Moving on to the next guest today. Only up inside of the queue if you happen to be MAGA. Let's follow the rules today. Welcome in. Do you support Trump?
Hi. Yeah.
How old are you?
22.
What year were you born in?
Florida.
Florida was the year that you were born?
Oh, well, no. 2003. I support Trump because he's not a neo-libertarian philanderer.
Get out of here. Moving on to the next guest, we got Anna loading up, and I actually think that this is one of our trolls. Anna, you're a troll. I'm just going to ban you, so. We're going to go to get that. Anna, hi, welcome in. Do you support Trump?
We are Dean with us.
All right, check this out. We got the ban button.
I love you, Dean. I'm the
gonna
Dean Wheeler's
confirm on this
fetus.
button.
I love you. I'm the We Are Dean Wheeler's fetus.
And then they're banned forever. And then they're banned forever. Never to be seen again. Never to ever be seen again. They're just gone. They're just banned. Moving on to the next guest. Only hop inside of that queue if you happen to be MAGA, please and thank you. Welcome in. Do you support Trump, Ray?
Yeah, I do support Trump.
How do you?
I'm 18.
What year are you born in?
2007.
Isn't it crazy that like no one over the age of 25 seriously supports Trump anymore?
I mean, I have a lot of people in my family over 25 that support Trump.
I guess a lot of them don't join this live. Hey, listen, I'm gonna thank a couple people. I only have a few. Then that mic that mic will be yours. Amanda, this came in 4 minutes ago on Venmo. Thank you for the $10. I appreciate you. Who says you should make people pass a 3rd grade general knowledge test before allowing them on the stream? True. Thank you so much for the $10. And then Mr. Steve, thank you so much for the $50 donation on Venmo. Thank you so much for that love, Steve. You are the absolute goat, my man. Steve with a $50, a big 50. Thank you so fucking much for that love, dude. Says, at this point, I don't understand how anybody with a fraction of intelligence and common sense could still possibly support Trump. They don't! They don't, Steve. There are 3 categories of people who still support Trump. People who are ignorant to the facts because they've fallen victims to propaganda, people who are just straight up evil, know the facts but don't care, and then people who are not intelligent enough to decipher the facts, i.e. stupidity. These 3 different categories can describe every single Trump supporter in one way or another. Thank you for the $50, dude. You are seriously the go. I really appreciate you. Show some love to Steve down below. Holy hell. Thank you so much. Francis, thank you for the $5. I appreciate you, man. And Nicole, thank you so much for the $20. Who says, Dean, I'm genuinely so heartbroken by what the Trump admin is doing to the environment, public lands, and wildlife. I'm scared it is something we will never recover from. Any chance that you could speak more about this in your lives? I'm actually working on a video specifically on that topic, Nicole. The attacks that he's launched against the National Forest Services and national parks, even in Colorado, forcing the sale of BLM, for instance, so on and so forth, is so fucking detrimental, Nicole. I couldn't agree with you more. We love our forests. We love our BLM. And it's so sad to see it under attack. Thank you for the $20. Same thing to you over on PayPal. Thank you, Caroline, for the $10. That is still something I am considering. We'll probably do that soon, Caroline. Show some love to Caroline in that chat. And then Fallon and Janelise, thank you both for the $5. Dude, appreciate you for your patience. Take it away. How the hell are you still a Trump supporter?
Do you mind explaining exactly why you are against Trump and for the Democratic Republic? For the Democratic Party, sorry.
Yeah. Trust me, bro. Don't support North Korea. Democratic Republic. Okay. Listen. So I could give you a paragraph. I could give you a page. I could give you a paper. I could give you a thesis. What do you want?
Just thesis.
So that's like the longest option.
Yeah.
I'll be talking for like 20 minutes if I do that, man.
Actually, hey, just do like 3 minutes. Just talk for like 3 minutes on why you hate him.
Okay.
And why you're against him.
Sure. Yeah. Well, so many reasons. So I break the reasons down into 3 main categories so they can be best understood. The 3 main categories are as follows. The first category is going to be his character. The second category is going to be his domestic policy. And the third category is going to be his foreign policy. So we're going to focus on one category at a time. We'll go ahead and start with that first category of character. His character is abysmal. First and foremost, he's an adjudicated rapist. This means that he raped a woman in the 90s, and a civil court proved that to a unanimous jury of 9, including a Trump supporter on that jury in 2023. Second of all, he has publicly boasted about and taken pride in sexually exploiting naked women and girls by barging into the dressing rooms that he owns backstage at Miss Teen USA and Miss USA. He said that it was the funniest thing he'd do. That's so gross. He's a sexual predator. The third thing is he's mentioned in the Epstein files over 1 million times, including a credible accusation from Jane Doe number 4, who we know is trafficked by Epstein, who said she was trafficked by the big E to the big T, right? We also see a lot of other discrepancies in his past concerning sexual immorality, like when he sexualized a 10-year-old girl in the 90s walking up an escalator saying that he'd be dating her in 10 years, hit on his own daughter, agreeing with Howard Stern that she's quote-unquote a hot piece of ass, or saying that the best thing that could ever happen to a woman is pregnancy, or saying that he could just grab women by their vaginas without asking them first on the Access Hollywood tapes of 2005. There's other really bad things about his character as well, such as racism. He's always been a really racist guy. guy. His dad was literally a member of the KKK. In 1977, he was sued by the New York State Justice Department for refusing to rent to black people because of the color of their skin. It was a violation of the Civil Rights Act. He's depicted black people as literal apes, literal monkeys, racist as fuck, on top of saying that we could actually racially profile immigrants and tell if they're good or bad based upon the way they look. Okay? Now, we also have the exonerated five in there. He called for the death penalty for the Central Park Five. After they were exonerated, he refused to walk that one back. Clearly, very, very racist. He's also very misogynistic. The misogyny would, of course, tie into all of the sexual predation that we've already gone over, but there's more misogyny on top of that, just with a genuine dismissal of women and girls. He overturned Roe v. Wade, preventing women and girls from accessing abortion in many scenarios in many states, just for a political win with the GOP, not caring that actually has led to around 60 pregnant victims of rape being denied access to abortion in 10 of our 50 states on a daily basis. Okay? Now, there's still a lot else that could be said about his character. I just generally think that he's a big fat liar. That's why he lied over 30,000 times in his first term. That's why he, lied about the outcome of the 2020 election. That was the largest lie that any American president has ever told. He's also just generally really unreliable. He's really detached from reality. He's delusional. Okay, this is why he'll spam truth socials of pictures with him walking with aliens that are fake, saying that Obama was working with the CIA to coup the government in 2016, or saying that he wiretapped Trump Towers. All of those claims are very much so detached from reality, but he is detached from reality in and of himself. So that's going to be another hit against his character. Moving on to domestic policy, I'm going to try to keep it short here. His immigration policy sucks, destroying the economy, of deporting people in no due process, a violation of their natural and constitutional rights to literally be tortured, not metaphorically, in another country down in CICOT, as proven by UN investigations and human rights watches as well. His economic policy sucks. He's absolutely tanked the economy. Worst jobs report since 2003. Most manufacturing bankruptcies since 2010. We see in 2024 under Biden, 2.2 million jobs were added. 2025 under Trump in his first year, only 170,000 jobs were added, less than the monthly average under Biden the year prior. He's absolutely been terrible for inflation. Last month, we saw the highest increase in the price of groceries in 4 years. We also saw in March the largest monthly increase in the price of gasoline since 1967 with the Vietnam War. He's also just generally bad for upholding law and order, separation of powers, adherence to the Constitution. He's launched an attack on the Constitution with his domestic policy. He's attacked the First Amendment by saying it's now illegal to criticize in the media. He's attacked the Second Amendment by saying that maybe trans people shouldn't be able to buy and own guns, or saying that it's okay to shoot and kill people because they're merely in possession of a gun. He's violated the Fourth Amendment by deporting undocumented immigrants with no due process. He's violated the 10th Amendment per the opinion from SCOTUS by deploying the National Guard in Illinois. He's violated the 14th Amendment by trying to deny birthright citizenship to the children of undocumented immigrants that are born here. He's violated the 23rd Amendment, or at least tested the 23rd Amendment by soft launching a potential campaign for the next election, even though he's already served 2 terms. He's infringed and violated upon the first article and the second article of the Constitution, saying that he has the right to federalize midterm elections. Constitution says otherwise. Saying that he doesn't know if he has to hold by the Constitution. Supremacy clause of the second article says otherwise. Saying that he could pass policy without Congress. First article says otherwise. And we also have to consider his illegal tariffs that he imposed on nearly every other country in the world that were ultimately ruled as unconstitutional, that illegally personally taxed Americans $92 billion illegally, and which is now just being given back to the top 1%. And that's another big reason why he's so bad for, in the sense of his domestic policy as well, because he's redistributing wealth from low-income Americans, the average American, to the top 1%. While people like Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk are getting billion-dollar bailouts, and the rich is only getting richer, the average American is getting poor. Okay, we see this to be true regardless if it's through the Big Beautiful Bill, taking their purchasing power away per the per the CBPP, which is the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities, or taking healthcare away from 10 million low-income Americans when we already have 51,000 that die every single year via lack of access to healthcare, or taking food stamps away from around 2 million Americans every single month because of the Big Beautiful Bill. And there's so much more that could be said about his domestic policy, but that's just where we'll start. When moving over to foreign policy, he's also very unreliable there. I mean, today he's literally saying that he cares so little about the financial health of Americans because of the grave threat of Iran ever possessing a nuclear weapon. Okay, so if that's such a grave threat, then Donald Trump is a grave threat because he gave them the green light to build nukes by pulling us out of the JCPOA, which was a denuclearization agreement that Obama got us with Iran in his first term, tearing it up because it had Obama's signature on it. If our president is willing to destroy agreements with other countries for the safety and assurity of not just the American people, but of the world, merely because they have a political opponent's name on the documents, then that's somebody that obviously is unreliable as it would relate to foreign policy. There's a lot more that I could say there. I've already been talking for a long time, so I think the last last point that I'll add on here is also very simple. Just his general attack on we the people and his political opponents. I mean, on Truth Social, he straight up called for 6 sitting Democrats in Congress to be literally executed because they politically disagreed with him. That's just not presidential. That's beneath the Oval Office. And that also wraps back into his attacks on the First Amendment, getting the chairman of the FCC, Brendan Carr, to attempt to revoke the media licenses away from companies that are reporting negatively on him or negatively on the war in Iran. And the last big pillar here would be his own corruption. I mean, he's literally suing himself for $10 billion. Okay, the federal government is what I mean by himself. And as of today, he's creating a $1.7 billion slush fund that under his command, the DOJ is just going to hand out to people who have faced unfair political persecution from his political opponents. This would include himself. This would include J6ers that were rightfully convicted, then thrown in jail that he gave pardons to. It's a corrupt mess. There's more I could say. I probably have about another like 20 minutes worth of points in the tank. I'm just like choosing to stop talking now because like clearly this is just way too much.
All right. So you claim that he is racist. He opposed the civil rights for black people and freedom. He was a Democratic president, and you're claiming that Trump is racist, but what about all the past presidents that are Democratic that have made multiple racial slurs, have made racial jokes, and just have been racist overall?
I'm not sure I understand the counter argument. Listen, every past Democratic president could literally be Hitler. This wouldn't mean that Trump's not racist.
Well, the claim attempting to make is, you're saying that Trump is a bad guy because he is making many racial slurs. I can agree that he has done some bad stuff in his life, but there has been Andrew Johnson, the president. He was against the civil rights movement and he was trying to oppose it. So what are your thoughts on that?
Andrew Johnson, the president from 1808. Oh, wait, sorry, that's when he was born. The president from 1865. Sorry, that's when he was born. Yeah, he was also racist.
Yeah.
Probably more racist than Trump.
So if he's more racist than Trump and he is Democratic, then why do you say that being a Republic and supporting the Republic Party is basically your chat and the many other
Trump wasn't
Democratic people have been saying that
Johnson.
So many Republic supporters have been racist because of one person.
Because Trump wasn't running against Andrew Johnson. Dude was like 50 before the Civil War. He was not running against Andrew Johnson. Listen, if he was literally running against Andrew Johnson, I would say that Donald Trump is the preferable candidate out of the two, specifically talking about racism. Andrew Johnson, literally fought for the reinstitution of slavery. Also, guys, it's Johnson. We've had a president named Andrew Johnson. He was the 17th president. Also, let me look up his political affiliation. Where did this guy go? Oh, he left. He left. Okay, bye. Okay, all right. See, that's why I wouldn't I don't know. If you want to ask me,
yikes, bro, he didn't know about the party switch. We should ask him what ideology did he have, because that guy, he would be conservative for the time. So then we'd ask him, who's been on the wrong side of history in every single scenario, liberals or conservatives at the time?
It'll always be the conservatives, man. If the conservatives always got their way, then life wouldn't have changed in the last 1,000 years. Welcome in. Do you support Trump?
Hello?
Hi, are you MAGA?
Yes.
How old are you?
18.
What year were you born in?
2007.
Okay. Are you going to compare Donald Trump to somebody that was born 50 years before the Civil War?
No.
Okay, good. Let me thank a couple people that I'll pass you that mic. Dylan, thank you for the 3 cents. Blair, thank you for the $10, who says, hey, Dean, I live in Alaska, and Trump is currently trying to dig up some of our land and crucial forests for our wildlife to use for oil. Are you able to speak on this matter? Well, you know who did speak on that matter? Fucking Biden. He prevented it. He stopped it. Said that if we want to drill on federal land, let's not drill on protected wildlife in Alaska, right? Donald Trump says, I'm going to reverse it. Thank you for the $10, Blair. You're the GOAT. Same thing to you, Jada. Thank you so much for the $25 as well, Jada. Thank you. Let's get 250 Jada W's down below in that comment section. I really appreciate you. You're the GOAT. You already know it. Thank you for supporting me in the stream. Show some love to Jada down below. That is Jada. And then same thing to you, Lucas. Thank you so much for the $5 as well. Show some love to Jada and Lucas down below. Over on Super Chat, Lord T, thank you for the $10, who says, question, should the progressives and conservatives spin off from their own party, or should America go back to a non-political party similar to the American Inception? Well, I just think that the progressives should take control of the DNC. Okay, that's what we should do. Over on PayPal, thank you, Lakin, for the $14, who says, Dean, thank you so much for being a voice of reason in the huge sea of MAGA. Your nightly live stream is the soundtrack to my home renovation on my first house, and I wouldn't want it any other way. I love you, Dean. I love you too, Lakin. I wish you luck on that home renovation. That is a huge deal. Hope it goes well. Thank you so very much. As well as Robin, thank you for the $5, and holy fuck, Miss Danielle. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for the $100 donation on PayPal. Danielle, that is insane. I genuinely don't deserve that. Fucking hell. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Genuinely, thank you so fucking much for that love, dude. Danielle with the $100 says, literally screamed when you told that guy if he dished it out, he should be able to take it. Straight facts. Thank you for all that you do. Danielle, you already know this. You are the GOAT. You've been watching these streams for forever. I love and appreciate you so much, so very much. I've not done anything to deserve that. Genuinely, that is so much money. Thank you so much. Let's get 1,000 Danielle W's down below in that comment section. And I will repeat, if you want to support me, support the stream, allow us to continue to be able to do this for 4 hours a day, 7 days a week, you can find the Venmo and the PayPal in the link tree in the bio on TikTok, pin message on that other place, and Dean Withers without the E. Also, just make sure to double check your spelling on that @ There are a bunch of fake accounts out there. So just make sure to double check that spelling. Now, let's go and hop into the next debate. Jacob Elliott, do you want to come back to the stream? Apparently not.
Hello?
Fuck, I kicked him right as he said hello. Feel free to hop back instead of that queue, Jacob. Hey, do you support Trump?
Do you mind if I start recording?
Are you a Trump supporter?
Yeah.
How old are you?
I'm 18. 2007.
What year are you born in?
2007.
Yeah, I mean, you could record. I mean, these VODs are recorded on YT, so that's another way you could find them. Why do you support Trump? All 18-year-olds, by the way, today. Why do you support Trump?
Well, I support him in the way I support, somebody who's helping the Overton window grow. Oh, you okay, Dean?
So you're just saying more radicalized, right-wing beliefs are now becoming more normal?
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool.
So what specific beliefs is he making more normal that you think should be more normal?
Well, I've actually been up here before, and you mischaracterized me. I'd say more monarchist views. That's my personal thing, but
that he should be a
I'm
king.
A supporter of American balkanization.
Okay, yeah, he should be a king. All right, sounds good, man.
Am I rage bait? I'm not rage baiting, bro.
All right, sounds good. You want him to be a king. All right. Why don't you just go
no, I don't want Trump to be king at all,
punch the shit out of your walls and I don't know, sling your shit at them too. I don't know what to tell you, man. That's obviously an insane belief. So Go have fun doing insane shit somewhere else other than my life. We're going to get the next guest loaded up in the box right now. We're going to go back to Jacob. He was in the live before. I want a king. Donald Trump is normalizing dictatorship. Get out of here, bro. Moving on to the next guest. We got Jacob loading back into that live stream. It doesn't look like he's connecting. Guys, are there any Trump supporters in here that are down to debate that are like over the age of 25? Legit? Yo, dude, thank you, Tank, for the real typing.
You're stupid! I hate you!
Silly child. Moving on to the next guest. Jacob, welcome back.
Hello.
Hey, man. Take it away. Tell me and Parker why you're MAGA.
All right. So, I wouldn't say like I'm very informed with either party enough to like I don't know like a ton of information, but this is the main reason is because I just feel like so I just saw a thing that yesterday or a couple of days ago in California there was a transgender running in the race and they ended up winning first place. And I feel like it's a little unfair because they were on the podium. They made a podium for that girl and the transgender to like share the podium.
Mhm.
But I feel like if
Transgender person.
I just feel like getting rid of that in sports would just make it more fair.
Yeah, do you know how many trans women are in the NCAA?
No, I'm not sure.
16.
All right.
Do you think there's a bigger issue than trying to prevent 16 people from playing in their sport of choice? Any bigger issues
No.
at all?
I definitely do think that, but I'm just saying that I just think that it's just a little unfair, and I just know a lot of people are frustrated with it, but
Listen,
I
here's what I
definitely do
think.
agree.
Here's what I think. I think that this is a intentionally manufactured scare to get more people to vote for the right. Okay? 10 years ago, no one gave a fuck about trans people. Okay? Even Trump was like, oh yeah, trans women could use a women's restroom. Who cares? Today, it's all the right talks about. It makes you wonder why. Because maybe if we spend more time talking about 16 trans women in the NCAA, we'll spend less time talking about going to war for Israel. Highest increase in the price of gas since Nam. Crippling job reports. Worse since 03, ignoring recessions. A president trying to succumb the power of the other two co-equal branches of our federal government to then implement unconstitutional orders to then direct the DHS to literally deport citizens. You know what I mean? It's just a non-issue. It's a distraction. The Epstein files.
I mean, I'm not informed enough to like, but I'm just saying like based off of what I know is the reason why I would vote for him right now. But I definitely need to do more research and dive deeper into it.
You'd vote for him
But-
because of like the 16 trans women in the NCAA. That's why you'd vote for him.
No, I have other reasons too, just
Okay.
because
Like?
I have them like written down and somewhere I can. But if I leave the page, will it like mute me or something?
It will mute you. We won't be able to hear you. You can then
But
quickly
will it,
come back.
will it kick me?
No, it won't kick you.
All right, let me go. I'll be right back.
We're going to go to get somebody else up in the meantime. Always looking for that, guys. Please only hop inside of that queue if you're MAGA. Preferably, I'd like a Trump supporter to come up here over like the age of 30. Like if you happen to be watching and you're a Trump supporter over the age of 30, please request. We've been talking to 18-year-olds all day. Thomas, welcome in. Do you support Trump? Going once, going twice. So to the next guest. Please, Trump supporters over the age of 30, hop in that queue. For the love of God. For the love of God, please. Please, please, please. Hi, welcome in. User, do you support Trump?
Yes, I do.
How old are you?
57.
Really? Name a song from the 90s.
Trump is the best.
What a
Is it
troll.
a song from the 90s?
Moving on to the next guest, we got Jamie loading up in the box. Hey, Katie, thank you for the $10 on Venmo, who says, could you please give a shout out to Brittany and Salvador? We listen every single stream. Yes, shout out to Brittany and Salvador. Y'all are awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much for that love and support. You are so awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Welcome in. Do you support Trump?
Yeah, I do.
How old are you?
42.
Okay. What time is it?
6:42.
Okay, and why do you support the worst president of your 42 years of life, Mr. Delusional Donnie?
Because what you just said right now.
Because he's the worst president of your life? That's why you support him?
No, because you are ignorant.
Oh, because I'm ignorant. Really? I think the opposite is true, buddy.
Dean,
No,
if you were not ignorant, he would actually be a Democrat.
No, because I watch. Actually, I am legal immigrant, and I can see your chat. Your chat is so disrespectful.
Okay. Can you tell us why you support Trump beyond Dean is ignorant?
Well, do you see your chat? They are laughing at everybody. They are how they say they are laughing at everybody. They are.
Have they called for anybody's execution like Trump?
Yes.
Oh, who?
Who? Charlie Kirk. Did you see?
wait. I just want to clarify. So before Charlie Kirk got assassinated, we saw leaders of the Democratic Party hitting Twitter saying this dude needs to be hung.
Who?
Charlie Kirk.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh my God! Did you see?
Name one
tweets
leader of the Democratic Party in politics that called for Charlie Kirk's execution before Charlie Kirk was executed.
What?
Name one leader of the Democratic Party who called for Charlie Kirk's execution before Charlie Kirk was executed.
One. Oh my God! There are like 20.
Then name one.
You won't be able to name one before or after.
Well, I'm not. English is not my first language, so I cannot name the one. But I saw the videos.
What?
Yes, I saw the videos. Everybody is like, "Oh, look at the neck! Look at the neck! It's like fountain.
Wait.
It's like fountain. Oh my God! Who does that? That's the most. Not just ignorant. Not just ignorant. That's the evil thing I ever saw in my life, and it's coming from the Democratic Party.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Can you tell me why language barrier would prevent you from giving me like just the name of a Democrat leader who's called for his execution, but it doesn't prevent you from having
because
like,
I'm not
a conversation with me? Like for instance, like I don't speak Spanish at all, yet I know Selena's name.
Because I'm not so fluent in how do you say? I'm not so fluent in I'm not so fluent in your language. I'm sorry.
But I like low-key, I don't know Russian, but I know like Putin's name.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't really feel like you need to like know a language.
May I ask you why is your Democratic Party about Charlie Kirk? Why are they laughing all the time?
Can you explain to me why the president that you support said that he's glad that Rob Reiner's dead, glad that Robert Mueller's dead, and literally called for the execution of some Democrats in Congress?
Who is that? Who are you?
Donald Trump. Donald Trump did that. That's your president that you support, that you're arguing for on the street right now.
I'm not talking about you. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to Dean. Why is Democratic Party so disrespectful about Charlie Kirk?
I'm kicking you. The reason I'm kicking you is because I think you're bullshitting us.
Hello?
Hi. Sorry. I think that guy was bullshitting us. He was bullshitting us. Don't bullshit me. Welcome back. What are the other reasons why you support Trump, Jamie?
Jamie?
Is your name not Jamie? Jacob.
No,
sorry. Jacob. Why do you support Trump?
I also feel like taxing the rich more, because in some cases, like a lot of people work like super hard for their money and to be rich and have that lifestyle, and like I just feel like they deserve to keep their money, and the people that don't want to work as much should
tax more.
No, get taxed like I'm not very familiar with taxes, but I just feel like the people that are rich don't deserve to get taxed more just because they work harder in a way.
Oh boy.
What? They're not in that position necessarily because they work harder. One and two. Like I think that you have to say that like if you have more disposable income, you can afford to pay more, and it's not going to affect your life as much. I would rather tax the rich than tax the poor, and if we need governmental systems to keep society functioning in the way in which it currently is, well, then I think that's like a preferable alternative. Donald Trump's policy would shift the burden from those that are disproportionately higher income to those that are disproportionately lower income because he's imposing tariffs, which have caused inflation, which cause prices to go up for everyone, disproportionately affecting the lowest income individuals in this country.
But like, what if you like make a certain amount of money, a ton of money, and you get taxed more, but you want to go on like you want to have a lifestyle of having all your money and go on more vacations.
If you make a shit ton of money, then you're going to be able to have that lifestyle. I don't see how you're, and also like if they were already able to make so much money, I think that taxing them isn't going to put them behind any more than taxing like lower income individuals. I think taxing lower income individuals would put them behind even more.
I mean, yeah, I guess I'm just not informed enough to argue more about it.
This one is easy. Ultimately, somebody's going to get the short end of the stick. There's no system of taxation where we're not either disproportionately taxing the rich or disproportionately taxing the poor. So if it has to be one of the two, I'd rather disproportionately tax the rich because at least that taxation won't meaningfully impact their quality of life. Yet it absolutely would for disproportionate taxation on the poor.
Hello? Was he saying something?
He was, but then he muted himself, so you could respond to that.
Well, I don't really have anything to say. But to get back to my other point, you said that.
So do you agree with what I just said? Like, okay, first of all, do you agree that it's either we disproportionately tax the rich or disproportionately tax the poor?
What does that mean? I'm sorry.
What does the word disproportionately mean?
Yeah.
More proportionate to the other. Do you know what the word proportionate means?
Like more of, right?
Let me find just other words that I. Do you either agree that it's you tax the poor more than the rich, or you tax the rich more than the poor?
I mean, I feel like you definitely should not tax the poor more because they're poor.
I know, but I'm just asking you. Do you agree that those are our only two options? Either we tax the poor more than the rich, or we tax the rich more than the poor. There's no third option. There's only two options.
There's no evenly?
Yeah, there's no such thing as even taxation because a flat tax rate, even taxation, is actually taxing the poor more than the rich because of the law of diminishing returns to the value of the dollar.
I can understand that.
Right? Like each individual unit of the dollar is much more meaningful to a poor person than to a rich person. And each unit of the dollar kind of loses some value the more dollars you have. So 20% of low-income Americans' income is going to be much more valuable than 20% of a high-income American's income to that respective individual, right?
Yeah.
So even flat tax is taxing the poor more than the rich. So do you agree that it's either we tax the poor more than the rich or we tax the rich more than the poor?
I mean, I don't really know how that works, to be honest with you, but
I'm just basically asking you, do you agree that those are our only two options?
If that's, yeah, I guess. I'm not informed enough to know that. I'm sorry.
Well, I thought that we just went through that. Like you said, maybe there's a third option of taxing people evenly, and that I described to you how
I didn't know if that was
taxing people evenly is actually just taxing the poor more.
All right, yeah, I can understand that.
Okay, so if our only two options are to tax the poor more or to tax the rich more, would you rather tax the poor more or tax the rich more?
I mean, in a way, you would probably rather tax the rich more because they have more to spare, but I also feel like they made their hard-earned money, and like someone who doesn't want to work and stuff, it just kind of...
Well, if somebody's not working, then they're not generating an income, so they're not paying taxes.
No,
most people work. Do you agree?
Like working as much, I'm saying.
Do you agree most people work?
I would hope so.
So labor force participation rate tells us that most people who aren't working are those that are retired or too young to work. So too old or too young to work. Okay? You're talking about a small portion of the population that you're saying is unwilling to work. very small portion of the population. You're saying because there are individuals like that, you're going to say that we shouldn't have a broader social safety net for people in general to ensure that people aren't like disenfranchised or fall through the cracks of our system.
Yeah.
You know what I'm going to recommend to you, dude? Watch the streams, hang out, learn something.
Wait.
Okay.
I have one about my first point about like saying about that's only 16 you said participating in it.
Yeah, the NCAA, yeah.
Yeah, I just feel like I have nothing against them. I'm like they can do whatever they want to do, and I'm not gonna like.
All right, I'm gonna drop you. I'm gonna go to drop you down at this point. I recommend watching the live stream, dude. I think that there's a lot that you could learn to help you better form a political opinion. And I appreciate you for trying to invest some time into doing that. I feel like there's a lot that you could positively take away from the stream.
Hello?
Damien, do you support Trump?
No, I don't. Can I say a few words though?
I'm sorry, man, not today. We are just looking to debate Trump supporters. Moving on to the next guest. You guys. If you want to support me, folks, if you want to support the stream, you could actually find my my PayPal and my Venmo in the link tree in my bio on TikTok. Pin message on that other place, and Dean Withers without the Dean Withers. I definitely recommend using the link because there's a bunch of fake accounts out there. But if you're going to type the just make sure to double check the spelling there so you don't accidentally send it to a fake account. Welcome in, Dylan. Do you support Trump?
Yeah, of course.
Dylan, yeah, how old are you?
I'm 20.
What year were you born in?
Well, obviously 2005.
Do you support Trump because of abortion?
No. I mean,
how do you support
abortion
Trump,
is a
then?
complicated issue. I wouldn't say it's black or white. And Trump isn't even fully against abortion, by the way. So there are other reasons.
So why do you support Trump?
Maybe the easiest reason to explain is like how the left continues to just call everyone saying they have white privilege or whatever, and I don't know.
So
that's my biggest
you
reason.
support Trump because some people on the left think that non-white people are at a systemic disadvantage?
Let me go downstairs for a second. One sec.
Is that the position? You support Trump because some people on the left think that non-white people are at a systemic disadvantage.
No, hold on. I am not a fan of just like these identity politics, basically.
Well, I mean,
that's how I would frame it.
It's true. There's a lot of privileges that you and me possess because of our race.
Like what?
Like being at a significantly lower probability of getting pulled over by the cops when driving.
No, that's not true.
It is true. The veil of darkness.
It's actually illegal for
the
cops
veil
to
of
pull
darkness
you
study.
over. It's illegal for cops to pull you over based on your race.
Yeah,
well, then
that's
why is the Trump administration making it legal for ICE to do that?
Before we
That's
get
not completely
that,
unrelated.
Before we get into that, and I'll just take 30 seconds to say this and pass you the mic, Parker. So you're saying, well, it's illegal for them to pull somebody over because of the race, therefore it doesn't happen. Okay, well, it definitely does. So the Veil of Darkness study looked at data from all 50 states, from local police departments, from state patrol, because under the Freedom of Information Act, all of like their arrest data is like open source, public. You could request it and get it. And what Stanford determined is that during the daytime, where cops could see like the race of a driver of a vehicle, black individuals are like 44% more likely to get pulled over than white individuals. Yet after the sun goes down, when it's too dark outside to see the race of an individual driving a car, black individuals were actually at no likelihood higher to get pulled over by cops compared to white individuals. But then the moment the sun would rise, all of a sudden, that disparity would be reintroduced. So this proves, okay, that, like for instance, you and me possess this privilege of being at a significantly lower likelihood to get pulled over when driving because of our race.
No, I feel like you're quoting like heavily biased sources. All of those studies are left wing. I just don't agree at all.
So the methodology of the study is so simple, it's hard to skew the results of it, right? Like the methodology here is not complex. It's not like reliant upon a bunch of unlikely assumptions. It's not contingent upon accepting clearly like left-leaning claims as fact. The methodology of the study is literal, just simple data collection and statistics that like you and I could perform, right? It literally just collects arrest data from police departments across America. It organizes the race of the person arrested based upon their traffic violation or cited or pulled over. Based upon their traffic violation, it puts their race into one category and the amount of individuals that were pulled over with that same race into another category. And then it does that for black people and white people. And then we account for the amount of black people in society compared to the amount of white people. And then we conclude that black people were 44 times more likely to get pulled over by white people than white people. There's no way to really skew the outcome of the study. Plus, it's been repeated like a billion times, right? So just because you don't like this fact doesn't mean that you could just place your feelings over it and say that that's skewed to the left.
It's not
now,
a fact.
If you would like, it is a fact.
No, because I think
sorry that
cops
you wanna
don't even
cry
really
about it.
see your race.
I'm
They
sorry
don't
that you
really
wanna
see your
cry.
race when you're in the car.
I'm sorry that you
They
wanna
see
cry
that
about
you
it.
did it. They see that you made a traffic violation, basically,
Okay.
when they pull you over.
Well, yeah. So this is going to be people who were pulled over, some cited, some not cited, some given a warning, some not given a warning, some cited, then prove their innocence later in court. So you can't even say here that black people are just more likely to break the law when driving, because once again, that disparity disappears during the nighttime when the cops can't see the race of the person driving the car. If it was true that the reason why a disproportionate amount of black people were pulled over was because they're just more likely to infringe on traffic violations, well, then we'd see that same disparity at night, but we don't. So you can't just say it's because black people are more likely to commit traffic violations.
Can I ask you something? Do you
Can you
believe in
respond?
reparations? Do you believe in reparations?
I believe in you responding to the argument.
I literally did. I said that it's a flawed, biased study.
Can you show me the flaw in the methodology, please?
The
Because
flaw is
remember,
that it's done.
you're pre-assuming that there's a flaw because you disagree with the conclusion.
Yeah, because I didn't even you didn't give me any numbers or anything. You didn't prove anything.
Yeah, so I did. I gave you the
He
number. I
literally
told
just
you that.
described that to you in depth, and all you took from it was, dude, I don't accept that because it's left wing, bro.
Okay.
So you could find this yourself by going on Google, typing in "Veil of Darkness study." The first result that you will get is from the Stanford report. So they analyzed 95 million traffic stop records filed by officers with 21 state patrol agencies and 35 municipal police forces from 2011 to 2018. And there's a persistent racial bias that is exhibited in the data.
Probably
now,
depends
you're saying,
what city you were in.
Now you're saying that, well, guess what? This study was biased. So please prove the bias in the methodology.
Well, the very fact that this organization, I'm guessing you look it up, they're left wing. That proves there's a hidden bias already.
Okay. So, well, actually, quite frankly, people who are left wing can still conduct studies with a methodology in which does not contain bias, because the methodology is math.
Not really, because
How can you put like a bias on math? Like, it doesn't matter if I don't want 5 times 5 to be 25. There's no way that I could multiply 5 by 5 and get anything other than 25 without very obvious glaring errors in my arithmetic. So if you think that their conclusion was wrong and biased, please show me the obvious glaring errors in their methodology.
I think the biggest error is that you said when the sun went down, the numbers were the same, but I highly doubt that.
Okay, well, that's what the study proves. So do you doubt that with any contrary evidence? No? You just doubt it with your assumption.
Are you doubting that those are the results of the study?
Using this one source.
Wait, Dylan, are you doubting that those are the results of the study?
No, I believe you that those are the results of the study. I just want multiple sources so we can verify claims.
Sure. Here's another source. This is coming from RAND. So if you go on Google and you type in testing for racial profiling traffic stops, you'll see a study published by RAND in 2006 by Jay Groger. Now, this study was conducted 14 years before Stanford study was conducted, and it yielded the same consistent conclusion. You could also go on Google and type in "pulling back the veil of darkness." And this is a study conducted and published by J.L. Node in 2024, 4 years after the Stanford study was published, that also concludes the same thing.
Yeah, have you ever heard of correlation, not causation?
Oh, you also have a large-scale analysis of racial disparity in police stops by E. Pearson that was published in 2020, the same year the study published
Dylan,
by Stanford was made public.
Dylan,
And that
that's
was
why there's a
another study
methodology
that
of the
concluded the same
study
thing.
that is supposed to account for those biases so that it's not just a correlation.
No, it is a correlation because the study doesn't account for what the cops were thinking, you know, if they have actual racist prejudices or anything, so.
So
How
then why
could
would
we
the
account
disparity...
for what they're thinking?
Exactly, so you can't prove your claim that all these cops
What?
are racist.
Well, the way
You
that we
can't prove that.
the way that we prove the racial bias is because the disparity exists when we account for race.
It's not proving it, it's saying
It is.
there's a
because-
correlation.
No. So we account for the variable by ignoring the variable. And when we ignore the variable of race and we account for that, i.e. it's dark outside so you can't see the race of the driver of a vehicle, the disparity of the traffic stop, the disparity in the traffic stop numbers goes away.
But there are also different factors when it's nighttime.
So it's like
There are less
actually
cars on the
it's the data from the nighttime that proves that it's not a correlation causation. Okay?
No, because there are other factors.
So then what other factors would we need to account for here that all these studies don't?
During nighttime, there are far less drivers on the road. Okay? So obviously you're dealing with small sample sizes for that study.
So the overall sample size of the study was 95 million traffic stops, with 1/3 of them being at night.
1/3 of them being at night.
Yeah. Do you know
So
what 1/3 of
already
95
you
million
proved
is?
that a minority of the study was conducted at night. So
Right, because less people drive at night.
yeah, so there's already a small sample size issue.
Wait.
with the study.
Are you a statistician?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So as you are a statistician, can you
I know
please tell me
statistics, bud.
why 31 million people, okay, is a small sample size for a study?
Can we pull this up? Pull this up on the
Can you
screen,
show me
or-
that? No. Can you show me that?
Hold on. I said it's a small sample size of the entire study.
Yeah. Show me why 31
Yeah.
million people is a small sample size.
Can you tell us what statistically significant means?
Statistically significant means that there is a big enough size and there's fair accountability and representation in a study to account for like a real result. This obviously does not. Only a third was at
And
night.
by the
There are
way,
a bunch of other
I
variables
also
at night.
it's also worth like pointing out here that there's actually a gradient where this disproportionality for black people to get pulled over goes away. So it's not just like arrest when light out, then arrest when sun is completely down. No, it also looks at that disparity as the sun is going down. And
Tell me,
what you
how-
see
how are
here
cops
on the
able to
data
tell the race of
is
an
that
individual?
as the sun is going down, the disparity diminishes. For like every increment of lightness that is lost, okay? Because the sun is going down and down and down and down. Like an increment of that disparity in the pullover statistics disappears. And then when it's completely dark out, the disparity is gone. Completely gone.
Okay. Do you think Dwayne Johnson was a victim of?
Do I think that you're not
this bias
responding
because he got pulled over?
Do I
Because he
think
got
that you're
pulled
not?
over?
Do you think that you're not
It
responding
directly
to
relates
anything
to
that I'm
the
saying?
claim. No, it directly relates because
I
you
don't
haven't
think that
proved
one
yet
anecdotal story is going to
that there's a
directly
privilege.
relate to a claim of a study conducted of 95 million arrests. Also, you said that. Well, how could they see the race with
Arrests?
10?
What did you just say?
Sorry,
Arrests?
pull
Oh my
pulling
god,
over
you already lose.
individuals.
You just lost. You just lost.
Because
Okay?
I misspoke?
You just lost. Yeah, you just lost
Okay, so why does me misspeaking mean I lose?
because you just spread lies.
Dude, that's so corny that you literally are like, I'm gonna claim victory after he misspeaks. How embarrassing, bro. No way. You're losing so bad in this argument, you had to claim victory after he misspeaks? Wow, that's fucking nuts,
No,
dude.
I actually
I can't fucking fathom doing that shit.
Dean lies. Okay.
Can you define the word lie?
Yeah, when someone intentionally tells wrong, like
Good
tells
boy. Now,
something
can you
wrong.
define the word misspoke?
It's when someone stumbles in their words, basically.
When somebody unintentionally says something they didn't mean to, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think you meant to say arrest because it proves your point more, despite it being false.
So why would I mean to
he
say
didn't
arrest
misspeak?
when I gave you a study that doesn't track arrests, just simple traffic stops?
Because
relates
to cops. I don't know.
No.
It's stronger language.
Why would I intentionally use the word arrest when the study that I gave you is about traffic stops?
Because you want to use strong language to prove your point.
Wait. Strong language that could very easily be disproven by looking at the study that I gave you.
Can you pull up the study? No one has seen the study.
I did. I gave you it. Once again, it's called
You're literally like doing Trust Me,
The
Bro.
Veil of Darkness from Stanford report.
You're doing Trust Me, Bro. Come on.
So it's not
Pull
a
it
Trust
up.
Me, Bro, because I'm
It
giving
is.
you the study.
No, you're not.
So when
No,
you
you're
would
not.
write a research report in 11th grade, and your MLA teacher asked you to provide citations for the claims that you would make in your research paper, would you just have to tell them, like, the name of the study, the publisher of the study, and the
You'd have to give a
author of the
link
study,
to the actual
and the
study.
year of the study, or in like a link with
Yes, a
citations?
link.
Or would you pull up a fucking laptop, set it on your teacher's desk, and show her the study on screen?
The difference is that just isn't like reasonable for a document, and a link easily allows the individual to pull it up.
So the link
Here,
is
don't you want to show your
news.
viewers
Dude,
the
he
study?
the
can't
link
give
is
you a link. Look up the fucking title. Are you really that
you wanna
ridiculous?
show
so
your
it's
viewers the
it's
study?
looking up.
Look up the title. It's not that complicated.
It's looking up the title, or you could go to news.stanford.edu/stories/veil-darkness-reduces-racial-bias-traffic-stop.
Don't you have share your screen? Like that would be so much easier.
Are you fucking serious, dude? Just look it up.
I
Just
would
look it
rather-
up, bro.
No, because
How
I would-
lazy are you? Wait, didn't you just, dude? You're
I don't want to
lazy
look
as
it
fuck.
up. I want you to pull it up.
I would
Dude,
rather.
Why don't you pull it up?
Yeah, I would rather you look at it on your own computer, so then like you could click through the hyperlinks as you'd want, so you could corroborate it with the other studies that I gave you as you would like to, so you could
because-
read at your own pace. So
Don't you care
could,
about your viewers? Don't
so
your
you could-
viewers want to see
No,
it too?
shut the fuck up, dude.
So the viewers could do the exact
resorting
same
to
thing.
insults now. Got it.
Oh, yeah.
So
Glenn
the
Victor.
viewers would do the same thing, right? The reason why I provide the citation is so then you could read it at your pace, click whatever hyperlinks you want, okay? Compare and contrast it with all the other studies that I gave you. When it's just like one projection of like my computer screen, well then we're just like going to be looking at it at my pace. We're not
Well,
going to be
listen,
able to
I'm
click on the
ADHD, so it's kind of
hyperlinks
difficult for
that
me
you
to listen
want,
sometimes,
but rather
you know?
the links that I want. We're not going to be comparing and contrasting it to the other studies that you want. We're going to be comparing and contrasting it to the studies that I want. So that's why I'm telling you to look it up on your own device.
The thing is, I have ADHD, so it's difficult for me to like listen to the links you just spew like randomly. So I just appreciate a visual, you know.
And you could get that visual on your own device. Look up Veil of Darkness.
I'm on my phone. Won't it kick me if I leave though?
No. Listen, buddy, you're just a fucking parrot for misinformation, and you are coping and whining that you've been proven wrong. This is not the first time this stream has had that effect. You are drowning in your own sorrow and slop, okay? You've shit the fucking bed. You've shit the fucking bed, and now you're lashing out like a crybaby toddler, okay?
Hold on,
Wah! Dean gave me a source that proves me wrong. Wah! I reject the source because of methodological bias. Wah! It couldn't have that bias because it's just simple math, and there's 5 corroborating sources from other years as early as 2006 to 2024. Wah! I don't believe the study because Dean won't pull it up on screen, but Dean has a really good explanation for why he won't pull it up on screen, so I could pull it up on my screen so I could read it at my pace, click on the links I want to compare it to other studies that I want to compare it to while also doing my own independent research. Wah! It's just a whining from a baby.
This stuff is why you guys lost in 2024.
Because I call the shots as they are.
No, because you're a cornball.
I'm going to stop trying to respond to the study that proves me wrong by
'Cause we were
pivoting to
right
talking
too
about the
early.
2024 election and
No,
calling
because
Dean
you're
a
a cornball.
cornball. Wah! Dean gave me a source that proves me wrong, therefore Dean's a cornball, and I'm going to start to get mad and say this is why the Dems lost, because that's a go-to pivot every time a Trump supporter's proven wrong.
Yeah, this is why you guys lost in 2024.
Wah! Even after Dean calls me out for doing exactly what I just did with the whole pivot to why the Dems lost in 2024 instead of addressing the study that Dean gave me to prove me wrong, I'm just simply going to ignore Dean's
think you're
explanation
cool
about why
doing
that's a
this,
pivot,
but
then I'm going to repeat that that's
it's
why the
actually
Dems
just
lost in
embarrassing.
2024. Wah! Now that Dean has been able to perfectly describe nearly every word that's coming out of my mouth as a sad attempt at a pivot or an ad hominem attack that doesn't attack the substance of the claim my opponent is making, but rather attacking my opponent in of himself, I'm just going to call the opponent embarrassing because I don't know what else to say.
Dean, didn't you fail out of college?
Wah! So now after my last 2 attempts at an ad hominem account didn't work, I'm going to try a new ad hominem by saying that the opponent that I'm debating that gave me a source I can't refute failed out of college. And no, to respond to your ad hominem attack, I did not fail out of college.
Really, what happened?
I dropped out of college.
Oh, okay. I see. Did you drop out to like start a company or?
Yeah.
Technically, yes. Yeah.
What's your company?
This.
You're looking at it, buddy.
So where are you like mowing all day? In front
Oh,
of
are you mad,
thousands
bro?
of people.
Are you mad? Are you jelly, bro?
No, absolutely not, Jelly. What are you talking about?
It sounds like you are, dude.
No, I'm not, because Dean is just embarrassing.
How is he embarrassing? Because he's shitting on you in an
Because
argument?
he's a cornball, and if like there were,
He's a cornball because he's dunking on you in this debate?
I promise you, if the people listening to the stream weren't insanely radical leftists, like they would acknowledge he's a cornball.
Dude, just because we've shit on
I think
you.
it's corny that you keep saying that he's a cornball without actually providing an actual intellectual response.
I know, I think that you're just mad because I gave you an argument you can't refute.
The original debate was
handmade
whether
by
white
Lisa.
privilege
Thank you so much for the
exists.
1 penny over on. That's an example of white privilege. This study's an example of a privilege that white
I don't
people have
think
because of
that
their race.
slightly
Lisa, thank
higher
you so much for the
rates
penny.
of-
I appreciate you so much over on PayPal. Emma, thank you so much for the $15 donation on PayPal. Who says you serve a greater good than you realize. Keep on doing you. Thank you so much for the $15, Emma. Thank you for supporting the business. Let's get 150 Emma W's down below in that comment section. Fasi, thank you so much for the $7. I really appreciate you. And Coral, thank you so much for the $5. Over on Super Chat, thank you so much, FamCam, for the $20. Who says, as an ADHDer myself, I personally love being able to go through pages at my own pace rather than following a screen share. It helps a ton. I bet. Thank you so much for the $20, FamCam. Let's get 200 FamCam W's down below in that chat. Thank you so much for the love and support, my friend. You are awesome, awesome, awesome. You already know that, though. Over on Venmo, thank you, Amanda, for the $10. Who says, Veil of Darkness, compare different times of year too. So 5 p.m. in summer, 5 p.m. in winter. So same traffic, different lighting. True, Amanda. Thank you for the $10. I appreciate you so much for that good input. Hey, JD, thank you so much for the $5 as well. Muhammad, thank you for the $5. Joe, thank you for the 5. I appreciate you. And Rachel, thank you so much for the $10 sitting on this guest. And Rebel with the $10 sitting on this guest. Thank you so much, Rachel and Rebel. And then Annika, thank you so much for the $10 as well. I appreciate you so much. I'll check those mugs out. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And over on Super Chat, Amber, thank you for the $20. Who says, I have ADHD. It's not an excuse. My teenage son has ADHD. He loves Dean because, in his words, he brings me back to the point if I stray too far. Shout out to my son, Benjamin. Shout out to Ben. Thank you for the $20. I really appreciate you so much for that donation. You are awesome. Show some love to Ben down below.
Yeah, I
thank
can
you,
give
thank
you
you,
an
thank
example.
you. Please show some love to Ben and all the other supporters down below. In fact, can you please, Dylan, can you thank the donors?
Yeah, thank you guys for donating like 570 cents to me. Thank you.
No, the donors that just sent me money.
Thank Dean's donors.
Oh, thanks Dean's donors. Well,
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to thank them because they're kind of insulting me.
No, you should thank them. Be the better person.
Turn the other cheek.
Turn the other cheek? Yeah, why don't you guys do that? You should
We're
do
not
that
Christian,
more instead
bro.
of like
Also,
mocking.
can you guys
individuals.
listen? For everybody watching
You're
the stream,
vulnerable? Okay.
for everybody watching the stream, the MAGA script is too predictable. Honestly, it's so predictable that it's starting to get boring. Guest makes claim, white privilege does not exist. Dean
You're not
makes
letting me
counter
give
argument.
examples,
Here is a
bud.
clear example of white privilege.
Can I
Guest
give an
crashes out and then says that Dean sucks. Why is it always the same thing?
Wait, can I
it's
give an example?
always the same
Can I give an
thing.
example?
Guest makes claim. Guest claim is proven wrong. Guest is then refuted. And then guest crashes out and says, I suck. No, not until you could concede that white people possess a particular privilege of being at a lower propensity to get pulled over in a traffic stop because of their race.
I'll say this. Definitely, I believe that black people get pulled over at higher rates.
Because of their race, right?
I don't think that's the only factor involved, actually.
So then what's the other factor?
For example, financial state, like of the car or the districts, the area.
Wait, can't they see the car at night though?
Yeah, like if they have a luxury vehicle, they're less likely to get pulled over.
Okay. So they could see the cars at night.
Yeah, there's something called headlights. Did you know that?
Yeah, so because the cops can see their cars at night, the car is not going to be the co-founding variable here, and which leads to black people being pulled over at higher rates. Because you could still see the cars at night, yet the discrepancies of traffic stops diminishes.
Interesting point, but during the daytime, it depends on the city. Like I said, financial stability of the area.
Well, it doesn't matter
factors.
if the area is financially stable or not. Still yet,
Yes, it does.
black people are disproportionately more likely to get pulled over during the day, but they're not more likely to get pulled over during the night.
Wait, tell me
regardless
how
if it's
a
in an
police
area in
officer
which
can
is
see
financially
someone-
insecure or
Tell me how a police
financially
officer can see someone's
secure.
Wait, Dylan, you
race.
understand that's the point that Dean's bringing up takes into account every single variable you could possibly mention. The only distinction is literally daytime and nighttime. And what is different between daytime and nighttime? Well, use your brain, Dylan. Let's think. What
No,
could
it's still a
possibly be
correlation, though.
different? Name 3 things that could possibly be different, Dylan. Go for it right now.
Well, can I just ask this? How can a cop tell someone's race during the daytime? Like, a lot of the times they
By
can't.
looking into their car.
How? If they're behind them?
By,
how?
by using their eyes.
If they're behind them, you think they can tell their race, right?
So when you're behind somebody,
No, they can't.
wow, Batman, you could actually see the top of their head through over
Really?
the driver's sight, over
I
the
can't
over the
tell someone's
driver's
race
one moment,
by
over the
driving, right?
driver's headrests or their arms or other identifying parts of their body from the back through the back window. Not to mention, you also have the side mirror where you could typically see the reflection of somebody's face.
But the thing is, police are trained to look at the car, actually, not their race or the person inside of the car. And they pull over
But
people
that's
for
not a
making a
different
traffic
factor.
violation.
Those aren't different whether it's light outside or dark outside.
Or their hands on the steering wheel from the back, or the
No, it
reflection of
is
their
different
eyes,
because
or the reflection
when
of
it's
their
dark
or the
outside-
reflection of their eyes from the mirror on top of the center console that people use.
You're
to
not
look
even
behind them in their
considering the
cars.
fact that
All these are factors
maybe
in which could be used to identify
black
the race
people
of a driver
drive
from
at
the
night
back.
at higher rates than white people. That's a factor.
What?
Do you hear me? Black
If black
people might
individuals-
drive at night at higher rates than white people
So
drive
then we would still yet expect black individuals to get pulled over.
Yeah,
at
so then why
higher
would they be
propensities
less
in the middle of the
likely to
night.
be pulled over? Like what?
What? Bro.
Yeah, if proportionally someone does something more, then you would see more instances of that occurring. We're literally talking about how there's less instances proportionally of this occurring in the
Oh, my
situation
bad.
where it's the
Maybe
nighttime and
I
it's
misworded. I
equivalent to
misspoke.
every other
Maybe
single
white people drive
person.
at night at higher
Like,
rates
come
than black
on,
people
dude.
drive at
Like,
night.
dude, it's like basic cognitive processes are not something that is possible.
It's almost
for
like when I call you for misspeaking, you freak out, and now I misspeak and you make fun of me.
That was you
Maybe-
misspeaking. So how were you misspeaking?
I meant to say maybe white people drive at night at higher rates than black people.
Wait. No, you intentionally lied.
No, I didn't.
You just lost because you lied. You lost.
Very funny. Very.
You
low
lost.
IQ
No,
move.
I'm not being funny. This is a legitimate argument. You embarrassment loser. You embarrassing loser. You lost. You
Yeah,
lost.
you're just a cornball, buddy.
Take the L. Oh wait, I'm a cornball because I'm telling you that you lost from misspoken. Should we rewind?
No, you're a
Should we like
cornball
roll back the
because
VOD?
You're like 5'7". You're
Okay.
You're like
cornball because
oh
of
my
5'7".
God, I want to
It's
give
funny.
period cramps and
It's
knuckle
funny how
sandwich.
you have to lie about my height to try to get a point over on me. That's a good one. Good one,
Bro,
Dylan.
you're the guy like
Good
that
one,
says, "I
buddy.
wanna give
You're
period
so
cramps and
adorable.
knuckle
You have to
sandwich."
lie about my height to try to get one over on me. You're so cute. Good.
You're
You're doing
5'7",
great,
bud.
Dylan. I know. You got to lie about my height to try to
Hey,
get one over
hey,
on me.
Dylan,
Good
What
how
is your
tall are
height?
you, Dylan?
5'6"?
I'm 5'9".
Oh, 5'9".
Dylan, how
Yeah,
tall are you?
sure. What?
How tall are you?
I'm like 6'2".
Do you want a cookie?
Congratulations, you could touch the top of a door frame, but you can't pass a 3rd grade math test? Hello?
Hold on. How does... Let me give you an example. You didn't prove that white privilege exists by giving one example.
Well, there's more than
So
one.
let
We
me
just so
give
happen
an
to be on the
example.
first one. We haven't even hit on discrepancies for funding in schoolies. We haven't even hit on the discrepancies
hold
in the
on.
exoneration
It's
rate. We
more
haven't hit
about
on these other
financial states
discrepancies.
than race.
Okay, but I would really appreciate you to consider this first point before we move on.